Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 287. Got a bunch of stuff to go over tonight, and as always, I'm joined by a bunch of fun people. I'm sure I'll have some good conversations. Right, let me go over here, starting with MVG.
Hello. It's great to be here.
Good to have MVG here. Good to have MVG. We have Nate the Hate. How we doing?
Good. It's a good week. History was made. Aaron Judge hit 62 home runs in the regular season, marking a new record for the American League in home runs. So 61 years, 61 stood.
Not Major League Baseball though, just one league.
Just the American League. The Major League Baseball and NL record will remain Barry Bonds.
But that's not really. But a lot of hardcore baseball people don't think that Aaron Judge is the new all time because Barry Bonds cheated, right?
I mean, that's a debate many will have for months and months, years and years to come as to who is the true king. But when they interviewed Aaron Judge said Bonds, that's the real record. So
none of this makes any sense. I have no idea what any of these people are.
Well, congratulations, Nate. Are you getting some kind of memorabilia for it? A shirt, a poster, something?
I have the memories of a fantastic offensive season that the New York Yankees had in 2022.
You've been seeing them commercials on TV. They're like, get the Aaron Judge home run commemorative bat. I'm like,
what is that? Sports Illustrated?
I don't even know.
Imagine seeing ads.
Why do they keep pitching to a guy that's 6'7"?
He's way bigger than everyone. It's not fair.
Yeah, why do you keep pitching to him? That makes no sense. It's like, oh yeah, look at this 6'7" guy that should be playing in the NBA or something or NFL. Let's throw the ball to him.
He was a football player in high school, and colleges looked at him for football, and he chose baseball because he liked it more.
It's a sportscast. The fuck?
Yeah,
what I'm saying, man.
Let's go over here. We got
Mario.
We got OJ players. That's how we doing, OJ.
All right, so the Bulls, they had a good. No, I'm joking. No, what's up, man? Good to be here. Shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for coming out to the Spawncast. Pretty sure where we didn't talk about anything but sports and stupid stories of me when I was younger, getting beaten up or chased, or my dad beating me with the head over with a stick or something like that. So it was fun.
Yeah, make sure you check out OJ for the pre-show. He's got that rolling every weekend ahead of the Spawncast. So good to have OJ here.
Just John, please don't Draymond greet me. I don't want to get Draymond. Okay, so just relax.
we got Jordan Fringe.
What's going on? Glad to be here. It was a very historical week. Pro shuffleboarding has been absolutely all the rage. So it's been so incredible to see. Cornhole is on the come up as well. I watch ESPN 8, the Ocho. It's fantastic.
Ocho. So, there's some weird stuff on there.
Glad to be here.
I only watch World Tournament Tag. Everything else is a fake sport.
We have
Tag is real.
I know. I watch it unironically. Watch World Tag.
What's that one girl? What's that one dude? That rapper with that crazy girlfriend. She was like a world-class athlete in that tag thing. What's his name? Blueface? I don't know what his name is. Anyway,
we got Dreamcast guy. How we doing, Max?
Good. Here to tag and bag, I guess.
We got Evan.
Yep.
And we have RGT85 Sean. Sean, you got an after show tonight?
Yeah, we'll do that after show, the usual bullshit. And unlike OJ, we are going to fucking talk about the New York Knicks, the 2-0 New York Knicks. They got a point guard, Jalen Brunson. Is he Obi Toppin fucking yamming on people in the preseason on that little McConnell fucker from Indiana, that scrawny little white bitch who fucking beat the Knicks 4 years ago on an overtime game, got fucking yammed on. It was so satisfying.
But Sean, what are your thoughts on
swear words?
What are your thoughts on Ho You Fat?
Bro, he's a fucking street legend. The fact that that's that dude's name is amazing.
I love how the commentators are like, that's the man's name. Don't tweet at me. I don't want to hear about it. I'm just saying the man's name to leave me alone.
That was good commentary.
Everyone's
he knew Twitter was coming for him already.
And everyone's like, this guy has to have a jersey because he would sell probably $1 billion worth of jerseys overnight.
Oh yeah, I'll buy one.
He has to sit on the bench and sell them. Yeah, people will buy them. Oh man. Sean, I brought you up last because you have an announcement to make.
Yes, I'm gay. No, I have a Steam Deck.
And what about this Steam Deck?
Find out in tomorrow's video.
So Sean hasn't said it yet, but he's basically thrown his Switch in the trash. So this is what I've heard.
No.
He actually,
you want to get the most views? That's what you need to say. You say Switch is now irrelevant. What?
No, because I don't think it is. I talk about it in my video. It does. I will say the Steam Deck does kind of change my perception of a lot of things when it comes to handheld gaming. I'm not going to necessarily say portable gaming because I don't think the Steam Deck is a portable system, and I explained why.
2-hour battery life isn't doing it for you.
That and the size of it, Jesus Christ! But I'm extremely impressed with it. Extremely impressed. Just playing games on it is it's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
Do you throw your Switch in the video?
It's a scripted throw. There's a safety area that it lands on,
like a wrestling throw. Like, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, Sean was funny because he just realized all of a sudden that Steam has like $7 games.
Yeah, I just buy shit. I'll probably buy some more shit tonight because my I got the 256 and I got a 512 card in today.
Okay. Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's a cool device. It is. A lot of good games.
No, it's not.
Steam.
I was wrong about the Steam Deck because I was never wrong about it. I always said
That's a title.
The title. I'm using that title. Mine's coming in the mail next week. I'm stealing that title.
That's what he said I was gonna do. I kind of like mine though.
Okay.
I think mine is good.
All right.
No, the video will be up tomorrow, Lycon at I think I have it scheduled for 10 a.m.
Okay. Very good. So tonight we have some stuff to go over, which includes the Super Mario movie, because that was a big talking point this week. PlayStation and PC, since that came up, and basically kind of goes back to what we've been talking about here for a while. I think basically confirming the past 2 years of what myself and I'm sure many people have said. The Horizon Zero Dawn remaster, which was kind of weird, and I did throw in Need for Speed Unbound because Sean showed some interest in it, and I know MVG likes Need for Speed. So I put it in there because I'm excited for Need for Speed Unbound, but we will talk about that when we get to it. We go over here to Evan. Evan, you want to hit us with a Discord question?
What's your single favorite retro game box art?
Oh gosh,
Mega Man.
Retro box art.
Which Mega Man? The original one?
The first one.
The big dude with the pistol?
Oh,
yes.
Man, that's good. What's a good box? Oh man,
I gotta say, classic Final Fantasy VII. Just that him staring up at the Shinra headquarters.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
I like Go ahead, John.
I was gonna say Ocarina of Time Gold Box. That's one of the few boxed. Actually, that is the only boxed N64 game I have, just because I remember when I first got it.
Okay. You only have one boxed N64 game?
Yep.
N64 looking kind of. Only one? That's it.
I mean, they're paper boxes, OJ. I have two.
I'm just saying.
I have two Super Nintendos. You know how many boxed NES games I have? Zero.
What? Listen. I just. Okay, I feel you, my man. I feel you.
What were you saying, MVG?
I was gonna say I really liked the Japanese Mega Drive cartridges, so like some of the artwork they did, and the one that stands out for me is Daimaka Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Mega Drive. The Japanese cover it's sick. I love it.
I got this cover, guys. This is my favorite cover.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of
Simpson and the Space Mutants. Look at this cover.
That game is terrible though.
This cover was incredible back in the day. You thought this game was good. You got
tricked.
Look at that.
You know, I mean, Turtles in Time had a great cover for Super NES.
That was good.
And if we do any region, I mean, look at Chrono Trigger from Japan.
Oh yeah, I have that complete in box. It's good.
That's beautiful
Fucking
cover art.
Oh, look at
like
Bionic
Silent Hill
Commando. Look at that. Look at that. I'm swinging. That was incredible box art back in the day. I was looking for this. Yes.
Okay.
Grab him.
We have another one, Evan.
Is there a plausible way to make a 3D Mega Man in the current market?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, a 3D Mega Man?
I'm sure it's possible. I can't imagine the pitch, but I'm sure it's
Legends.
possible.
Just do a Legends 3.
You would have to do something with Legends, probably. I just don't know how well that would work.
I mean, with the way it works, if you consider Mega Man as like a game style, I don't even think anything past like the X series and stuff is like a Mega Man game. So like at the end of the day, you're just putting Mega Man in another universe, like Vanquish, but with Mega Man. Like it would be perfectly fine.
Oh yeah,
that's
like,
exactly what I was thinking. But the level design would have to be a bit different, you know. But you can just do something like Vanquish.
If it feels like a Mega Man Legends or 3 Mega Man might be more of a budget than Capcom's willing to put in that that property right now.
Capcom they gave us a demo and was like,
Yeah, they pulled that. Unfortunately,
never mind.
I mean, I'd like to see them do something again with Mega Man, just Mega Man X. Just do that. Do something really cool looking for 2D and go from there. I feel like Mega Man 11 sold well enough to where they're looking at it again. So,
Did it?
Evan, yeah, I thought it sold pretty well for him, considering how much. I mean, how much money do you think it really took them to make Mega Man 11? Let's be looking at it. To me, if it sells over 1 million copies, they're probably like, oh, okay, well that works. I have to look to see what the sales were for Mega Man 11.
It was
Mega
a
Man,
little over 1 mil.
Yeah, see, they're probably like a 1.4 million as of June 2021.
Yeah, as long as they keep the budget low, they just keep doing that.
Yeah, which is why we probably won't get a 3D one, right?
That's what I'm thinking. Because I can't imagine. I don't think Mega Man Legends sold a ton. Like I don't think that lit up sales charts or anything.
No, never sold. They just made them just because. But I mean, I don't know, man. I think that like for as much people said we need a new Mega Man, then we get a new Mega Man, and then like 1 million across 15 platforms. It's like, man, that's
2D. I think the 2D stuff's like people are kind of beyond the 2D. Like they didn't even want to charge $60 for a Mega Man 2D game, probably. Like the fact that Metroid Dread even was like a whole thing when that got revealed for $60 online.
I think remember the WiiWare Mega Man games, like Mega Man, I think 9 and
9 and 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think those did better than the new Mega Man. I think they overall sold more.
Those were pretty cheap too, weren't they?
Those were. You're right. They were cheaper though.
Like $20 or something. Yeah,
they were good though. That early novelty era, people talk about this now, but that early Xbox Live era, Castle Crashers and stuff, you kind of bought games just because it was interesting to buy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I bought Mega Man, the Mega Man ones. I bought them day one there, and just I think everyone was hyped at that point. We were getting like a lot of the message boards and like the kind of like the new way that we see media right now. That was all starting at that point. So, yeah.
You want to hit another one, Evan?
I feel like we get this one often. Do you think consolidation for the video games industry is good or bad for games?
It's going to be bad. I think it'll be good in the short term because I think some of these overly creative studios maybe need a little bit of reining in, but it will definitely be bad in the long run.
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to say. I don't really know. I don't really know the answer. Like, there's definitely some really positive things about it that you can't just discount. But I also kind of agree with Max in that it could be a bad thing in the long run, but I'm quietly optimistic about how things go, but we'll see.
I mean it depends on I guess who would buy it too, because for example, if Amazon or if Google imagine if Google had bought a big publisher for a push for Stadia and they were like, maybe not. Like what if they came in and bought Take-Two or something crazy, and now we see Stadia going away and they were like, I guess we'll be done with this for now. So that's the thing. It's like consolidates down and then something fails.
I don't think in that type of situation that you would see a company like the size of Take-Two all of a sudden be shuttered just because its parent company decided to close down its console initiative.
It's possible. I mean, look at HBO Max or whatever, that they had like hundreds of millions of dollars of movies that were made and set and ready to go, and in order to write it off on their taxes they had to delete the data, even the raw data. The Batgirl movie is gone. There are 0 copies in existence. They deleted even the raw takes because that's how you have to write it off as a loss. So if one of these companies bought something like Google Stadia, or if Google bought something to put on Stadia and then just canned it, they would literally delete all the games they owned.
Wait a minute, you tell me they took it out of people's digital library that they had bought?
Well, what like
Not just
so
in
some cases, yes. In some cases, like
that. Oh, weird. Hold on, they can take it out of your digital library, huh? Weird.
Isn't that fun? Yeah, this is the fun digital future. There were screenshots of some company went under and they asked Amazon to take down their stuff off the server, so people were having movies they had owned for like 10 years disappearing, and you can't even refund it because it just doesn't go anywhere.
Let's talk about the Super Mario movie. We had a direct for it. It was simulcast at New York Comic Con, as well as showing basically the world through the direct. And there were a lot of people tuned in for this. It's about a 2-minute trailer. And we saw Bowser. We saw and heard Bowser, Toad, and Mario. The big characters, obviously, they're going to be in here. And for the most part, I think everyone was pretty happy with what they saw. I say saw because the controversial part is what they heard with the Mario voice with Chris Pratt. But for the most part, I'm pretty optimistic about this movie based on what we saw here. But let's go around. What do we think of the Super Mario movie trailer?
Fuck Chris Pratt. I think I'm so annoyed because not only did Chris Pratt do the worst voice, every other language, every other translation, the French guy killed it, Japanese voice, all those are good. Only the English voice that like, yay, we're in the Mushroom Kingdom. And I see weird Nintendo people on Twitter being like, oh, maybe that's just the opening line and he gets more boisterous. Why would they put the flattest, shittiest line in the first trailer? I think this is his voice the entire fucking movie. Fuck Chris Pratt.
I think he had 9 words. I think we do need to see a bit more.
Yeah, I'm done. I don't even know.
But I mean, the thing about Mario is it's not like he has these long vocal diatribes in his games or anything like that, where he's doing like speeches and stuff. I kind of look at it more as like using the Captain Lou Albano voice from the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, which Pratt still isn't really necessarily nailing it, but I definitely thought it could be. It sounds like Chris Pratt trying to, do a New York accent, which
he said it was unlike anything we've ever heard before. I mean,
Well,
of course
why
they're
does
going to say things like that.
Why is the French actor actually acted in? Why is he like, here we go? But only in English is it like, yay, here we go. I don't know. That's my thing is he's the flattest.
I think the trailer, whatever they're going for, based on some context clues, it seems that obviously Mario is out of place there.
Yes.
And even the little teaser of Luigi seems like he's just like constantly running away from stuff and is maybe not from there as well. It could be pulling some sort of Jumanji where 2 brothers get sucked into the world of Mario
Mario's
somehow,
an isekai,
and they're separated and they have to come together, something like that.
That's exactly. A lot of people don't realize this, but that's exactly what Mario's origin and canon storyline is that they were 2 brothers who went down a warp pipe accidentally on a plumbing job and ended up in the Mushroom Kingdom. And if you watch the Lou Albano in the cartoon show, you would see that the entire narrative of that show was them trying to find a warp pipe back to Brooklyn. So them doing this is actually paying homage to the original story that has been ignored for the last 25 years in terms of Mario narrative, in terms of games. So that was nice to see them going back to the roots. Pratt's voice, we do have to hear more of it. It just, in that initial showing, it just wasn't powerful enough to say, that's great. And I'm not looking for a 1-to-1 match with Charles Martinet. Like, I don't want that from the Mario. As Sean brought up, like Lou Albano, Bob Hoskins, you just wanted a little more of that New York sound. And he didn't deliver it in this particular trailer.
They kind of whitewashed Mario, is what you're saying.
Did you see it? Somebody posted a TikTok. It was like a TikTok going around of the most New York guy ever, and he's eating a sandwich. He's like, man, this is greasier than your sister's hands when she's giving massages. Ooh, I could snort a line of this good old panini. And people are like, I want this guy to be Mario.
I do think we need to hear more of him, but he just didn't stand out, especially when you hear Jack Black as Bowser and then you hear Keegan Michael as Toad, and it's like, okay, these are like legit voices here that we're getting. I mean, in the beginning, the animation looks great in this movie. It's like next level stuff. Like Illumination obviously is going all out with Nintendo, but I like Bowser in the beginning. Looks really powerful. Blows up the entire castle. They do the fun little thing with the penguins throwing snow at them, and I like the 2 minutes we saw here of it. So it does seem like Miyamoto is heavily involved with this one. So I think we probably even get some cameos that we're not expecting, and in the backgrounds maybe you could have like, I don't know, just some random Little Mac character back there or something. But I think it's going to make sense to people who actually play the games, and it won't be like that Super Mario movie from the 90s.
We also have to see how main where does Donkey Kong fit into this? How are they going to show Donkey Kong's involvement? What other characters are going to be there? Because at least as far as that, we know Donkey Kong is Seth Rogen. So
yep. I'm looking forward to this. Is in April, by the way, April 7th. So we're not too far out. That's 6 months. I'm gonna go see this one in theaters. I don't know if you guys are gonna go out and see it too, or wait for it to go to streaming or something. But this is theaters. Yeah, so you're gonna be the only one who doesn't go out and watch
past
the
the
theater.
gas station. Yeah.
building
I'll get the
construction
bootleg.
where they show movies
Get
on
the
big
bootleg.
screens with surround sound.
Oh, damn, Nintendo will come for you, man.
Yeah, they will come find you, Sean.
mess around.
You'll click play on that website, and 5 minutes later, somebody knocks.
They know how to find me.
Didn't they find you for Dread?
They know how to find me.
They came looking for you.
Look, the real question is, are they going to do an after credit scene where he gets a Smash Bros invitation? I legit think so. I legit think so.
I do wonder if they're going to try to set up a sequel though after credits or something like, and do some sort of cameo character reveal or something.
They're gonna make a $1 gazillion off of this film.
This movie is going to make a lot of money.
What's going to happen at the end? The end credit scene after Mario defeats Bowser. It's going to be this little Bowser Jr. who comes and sees his dad defeated, and he's going to vow his vengeance on getting Mario.
I'm guessing.
Like Godfather Part 2, man.
Yeah,
what's going on?
Jordan, you said how does Donkey Kong get involved? I mean, could they do, because technically this would be after Mario kind of torments Donkey Kong at some point, or his dad, or whatever it is, or whatever the one. So could it be like Donkey Kong's like, oh, I remember you. You know what I'm saying? Could it be like that type of story or something like that? Like, you remember what you did to like my pops or my grandpa or whatever?
Well, it wasn't In Town, because I was looking at the movie poster. In Town, wasn't there like a DK store? So I think it's going to be whenever they go to town. I think DK is going to be the guy who explains the world, because in every isekai, any fish out of water thing, you have that like lovable character who's like, hey, how's it going, so maybe they could do homages, but I think they're not even going to do the Donkey Kong conflict.
Do you think in the beginning it's going to be live action, then it goes into the animation, or it's going to be animated all the way through?
No, animated all the way through.
Animated, yeah. But it is weird. Does anybody think it's weird that Jack Black, like Bowser, does look a little bit like Jack Black and it's cool looking, but then Chris Pratt Mario looks a little bit weird to me. Just I'm not even hating. It's a creative choice, but it looks a little bit weird.
I hope the first shot in the movie is just Chris Pratt waking up.
I hope they don't give Chris Pratt another live action with some sort of CG, like with the Lego movie, where like that would be. It's like, all right, we get it. We can't do this trope in every animated film now, guys. Come on.
What are you thinking here, MVG? You liking this? You liking what we're seeing so far?
I think so. I thought Chris Pratt's voice was fine. I want to hear more of it, of course, and hopefully we'll get a proper trailer before the movie comes out. I'm sure we will. But yeah, I thought it was good. Like you guys are right. They spent a lot of money on this movie. It looks really good. The CGI looks amazing. I think I think it's a slam dunk for Nintendo Pictures. They're gonna kill it. I'm probably gonna go see it at the movies as well. I liked it. But I definitely want to hear more of Chris Pratt's voice. But I don't think it really bothered me as much as it did some people. I know, Max, you didn't care for it, and I get it. But I thought it was fine. But it's also, I will say, he could easily just fuck it all up. When we see a bigger dialogue, right? But I thought the couple of lines he spoke, at least in the little teaser thing, was fine.
The highest grossing video game movies worldwide, number one is actually Warcraft. I did not know that.
Yeah,
439 million.
I believe it. That was decent. That was a decent movie. 439
million. A lot of Illumination. A lot of the stuff that they've worked on gets to or crosses $1 billion. Like Illumination, their stuff with like Despicable Me and Minions, that sort of things. Do we think that the Super Mario movie has $1 billion potential?
Yes.
No, easily.
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay.
Didn't Sonic 2 do 400 mil?
It did 400. Sonic 2 did 404 million.
This will do a bill.
There's so much generational like love for the character that families, like fathers, grandfathers, even are all going to be involved in going to see this film. So,
okay,
it's always hard to guess the normie demographic, because you don't know. Like, obviously, Sonic fans are going to watch Sonic 2 15 times while hugging a Sonic plushie, but it's like, I know there's Nintendo fans. Obviously, the Nintendo Switch is selling, but I'm just curious to see how many randos off the street are going to watch this movie. Because if it hit the billion,
everyone knows Mario, basically, right? Mario's like the Mickey Mouse for video games, basically.
Yeah.
Everyone has either played like the original Mario or played a Mario game. Like even my mom, she's played a Mario game. She's not and she even asked me about it. Like, I saw that come across her like her timeline on Facebook. So it's like, I think there's going to be a lot of normies and a lot of people that aren't core gamers that are definitely going to get into this. And I think that's where some of the not behind the scenes, but that's where some of the choices come into play. Chris Pratt has 8 million followers on Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
that's incredible marketing. I mean, you know what you have to pay to get a sponsorship or something by Chris Pratt? It's going to be a lot, you know? So I think that's where that comes into play too, because there's some people that will just watch anything he does, no matter what. Like, they'll just watch it. So
Illumination's also really good at marketing for all their Despicable Me films, and then the Minions movie, and then that kind of, they also play into the memes online. So like with the second Minions movie that happened this summer, there were large groups of, like, you know, friend groups that just dressed up in suits and then went to go see Minions. And I've already seen tweets like, what do you guys want to do for the Mario movie? And I guarantee we're going to see waves of people dressing up in overalls going to see the Mario movie. And the same way, and it's going to cause people to talk about it. It's going to be all over every social media. It's going to be really well marketed the closer we get to it.
Shout out to Pyro here, asks, will we see Koopas and Goombas floss dancing in the movie? That's the question.
The Super Mario Brothers Super Show dance. Wave your arms from side to side to the Mario.
Dude, I mean, Miyamoto's involved in this. We could see some weird callbacks and stuff. I mean, it's the knowledge is there if they want to.
Do we think, because Illumination likes to specifically do like the villain song in a lot of their movies, do we think that Jack Black is going to do one? Because I mean, Jack Black likes to do a dance number in a lot of his movies, and he's a very, very good, obviously professional singer. I would love to hear a Bowser song.
One of the early rumors, I think Grubb may have talked about it several months ago, is that the film does have a musical element to it. But that could have been an early script, and it could easily be outdated information.
No, there was Jack Black just confirmed it, like around the release of the trailer, that there's musical. It was something like, oh, Bowser's a lot more musical than he thought he was.
Dude, okay, hell yes. Instantly, my hype is 10 times. I'll put in the French dub of Mario. Everyone else is speaking English. It'll be great.
I'd be okay with that. We'll see.
The real question is, will there be a game?
See that already ahead of the conversation here. Yeah, I think there will be a game.
Well, which one is
Mario
it?
Brothers, the movie, the game?
I think we get that rumored 2D Mario game next to it.
What?
Yeah, but does that really fulfill what MVG is asking here? Is he asking just for a new Mario game, or is he asking for a Super Mario Brothers movie, the game?
Oh, I see what you're saying, like a tie-in for the movie itself.
I'm asking for anything Mario.
I just figured a 2D Mario game gets dropped next to it because it's the most approachable. Like the mainstream, the 3D stuff. I've given like a nephew. I don't really play a lot of games, or the kids or whoever, a 3D game, and they're like, I don't get it. It's weird at first. They take a while to get used to it. But the 2D one is just easier, just left and right, or jump. So I feel like that's what I would, if I was going to do it. You drop that 2D Mario game next to it or around it, like a month before, a month after, something like that.
They're gonna have actual Chris Pratt be scanned into the game like the old Mortal Kombat's where the actors are in it.
I mean, this is a good shot for Nintendo to just bring in people who haven't played on the Switch or video games like that. They see Mario the movie and they're like, oh, let's do some more Mario stuff. What else is there? And they look up the games. So it's worked for other companies. We just saw Cyberpunk absolutely revive 2077, the Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I mean, 2077 was on life support, and all of a sudden it now has higher concurrent numbers than The Witcher 3 ever did, just from this anime that popped up on Netflix. So
yeah,
I feel
totally
like
unrelated.
I feel like $1 billion movie that we're currently discussing and predicting right now could have that kind of effect on Nintendo's games too. So,
or they could just have a limited edition Bowser's Fury game with a movie ticket inside of it or something.
There you go. You can do that too. You can do that too. I just feel like that 2D game, if it is a thing and as it's being rumored, I don't know. It seems like a good time to drop it, but it's Nintendo. They do weird things. Maybe that's when they drop Metroid Remastered, is the same day the Mario movie comes out. I don't know. But that does make me wonder though. Nintendo clearly is moving in this direction because they have Nintendo Pictures. That website just launched recently, and that doesn't look like a place that's going to be making cutscenes for video games. That looks like a place that's going to be making animations and shows and those sorts of things. I don't know if they're going to do much at all with video games. So let's say this happens. Roaring success for Nintendo, $1 billion plus. I mean, you assume one, they're going to do a sequel for the movie. That seems obvious, but Two, do they start looking towards some of their other IPs that can either work to revive or improve some of their video game sales from, as we're seeing? I mean, we're getting a Medium TV series, The Medium from Bloober Team.
So weird.
That's getting a series. So it seems like everyone's just taking a shot, because I assume the budgets for some of these series are much less than the video games themselves that have to be made. So it's like, why not? Here's Gravity Rush. Let's see what happens. Do you think Nintendo then just starts looking around at their back catalog, and if they do, what do they get?
Yeah, that is actually a couple questions from Discord. When do we think the next Nintendo IP is going to be announced, and which ones would you be looking for?
Ooh.
That kind of stuff.
I bet.
Let me pitch a weird one.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go, Sean, and then I'm going to pitch a weird one. You do one.
I was just going to say, I could see them announcing something at the end of 2023, maybe early 2024. Like John said, you don't buy this picture studio to do shit for your video games. I mean, they're obviously going to do more. It's obviously something that they're pushing. Hollywood is becoming the video game industry because the video game industry overtook Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, it swallowed it up. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's definitely what the plan is.
Okay, what do you got, Max?
I think there's a safe bet. Obviously, they're going to do something Zelda related or something, but I think they could do something really interesting and creative. I feel like there is kind of a groundswell around Metroid, the hype around Metroid 4, the sales of Metroid Dread being under 3 million, but still good. I would love to see a Metroid horror show, because I feel like that's one thing that Dread really did, was the trapped isolation of what the heck is going on. Samus Aran is strong, but she's not invincible. And there has been talks of Brie Larson really said she'd be interested in doing some sort of Metroid movie. If they did a Metroid movie in more of a spooky sense, holy heck, that'd be great.
Okay. I think Metroid is a great. I think that would definitely translate well to either the big screen or just a series. A series maybe would be better, like on Netflix or Amazon or something.
It is. I just think that people, if you have somebody, a hot lady in a big mech suit, you're going to want her to shoot things as much as possible. And some of those Marvel shows kind of stretch out the fun.
Yeah, they could. I mean, they could do that, or they could even just do an animated series for it if they wanted to, kind of go that edge runner, like the Cyberpunk route for it. But I just get the feeling Nintendo's slowly building in the background. Like, they renamed that studio, I bet, just to build it out further, hire on more people, and make a serious push internally for this stuff.
But have they said the actual intent of the studios?
No, we're just guessing at it. This is Nintendo Pictures.
Well, we've seen in the past, Nintendo did the anime short-lived series for Star Fox to promote Star Fox Zero. We saw the Pikmin shorts. So they've dabbled in this before. And if this is just going to be an extension of that, where they're just going to use them as a marketing branch, where they're going to do like a 3-episode short to market an upcoming game, you could see something like that. Like, I don't see Nintendo Pictures going out of their way and doing huge, big budget releases of like a Final Fantasy Spirits Within for the company. I don't think they're going to go that far.
But why not?
Yeah,
if the money's there, and you know, they have successful IPs with brand recognition that no matter if you even have a big budget, it doesn't matter. They're going to make that money hand over fist. And then you can put that into development stuff for other ideas, whether it be games, consoles, movies, TV shows. I mean, they're doing a theme park as well. Like, I think they're finally starting to realize how large their brand actually is. I mean, it's kind of bizarre, because as an outsider looking in, everyone can see it clear as day, you know, but I think them as a company underestimate what they're actually able to do. Merchandising, marketing. You know, they're going to have Mario toys at McDonald's to coincide with the movie and shit like that. Like, this is going to be big. And when it becomes big, they're going to want to push for more stuff like this. I don't think it's going to be, I mean, I could be completely wrong. I just don't see them doing small projects with this studio, especially when there's money to be made there.
Agree. I think I like Luigi's Mansion for a movie. Something
yes,
along those lines,
because
I think that'd be a great October movie.
But but are you talking Nintendo Pictures making this movie? Or are you talking that they would collaborate with Illumination Studios to make the movie?
I assume there'd be collaborations as well, right? So Nintendo Pictures could maybe work on a series at a time, but I mean, couldn't you go and pitch stuff to Amazon and pitch stuff to Netflix and legitimately just have them bang?
Yeah, but that's a different conversation from what Nintendo Pictures is going to be doing. Nintendo collaborating, we've seen this time and time again in the past. They had the Kirby TV show. They had an F-Zero anime. Nintendo has done this stuff before, but them doing it in their own in-house production team would be a major shift. So collaborating, like as Sean's saying, there's a lot of money to be made, but in collaboration, you're not going to be putting forth the hundreds of millions of dollars that Illumination is investing in creating this movie. Nintendo is licensing out their IP and they're having some say in the direction of the film, but they themselves aren't investing all that money into it like Square Enix did with Spirits Within. Square Enix invested tens of millions of dollars, and then when the movie bombed, they were on the hook for that money. If Mario movie bombs, Nintendo's not going to feel any impact from that.
Yeah,
Illumination feels the impact. So this is an apples to oranges comparison here.
You don't think
what will Nintendo
Miyamoto
production
would
do?
feel it if the Mario movie bombed?
I think of course he would, because that's what he's been doing the whole time.
Yeah.
There's levels of collaboration though, and I feel like this collaboration, Nintendo's a lot more involved in it than I think we could really understand. Like the cast was pretty much picked by Miyamoto, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, and you are correct, it is a collaborative effort, but I feel like this is a way to, essentially be like a launch pad for the studio. You see how these things operate, you see how these things go, you see what sort of money it brings in, and then you sort of have a litmus test. Okay, well, what can we do beyond this? What can we do in-house that maybe doesn't require people? I mean, you can always get freelance people to come in and out and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. That's just how I see it, though.
Things have really changed, though. Like now, all of these companies, these gaming companies, are looking to film and cinema and streaming services to push their games and brands and build them. So it's way different, Nate, than I would say when they were making the Star Fox stuff or any of that. It's with all these streaming services that seem to just throw money at everything. I mean, you probably don't have to pay for most of it to make
it. That's where we've seen Nintendo reach out to others. They had to reach out to Netflix about a potential Zelda series, and the talks didn't. Yeah, they canceled it because communication came out too early, so that didn't end up happening. But for Nintendo to undertake that tier of project within it's something we've never seen them do before in that type of entertainment medium. So whether or not Nintendo Productions and Pictures is going to do those tier of projects is, that's a lot to weigh. Collaborating with Netflix, Amazon, Illumination Studios, or whomever is a lot safer route for Nintendo. Like, we can look at the original Mario movie back in the 90s. The movie was terrible. It bombed. It didn't hurt the perception of the Mario franchise in any way. They recovered just fine. That's going to be the big thing. Is Nintendo really going to in-house do these? I mean, look at some of the successful shows. We can look at Castlevania. Konami isn't doing that themselves.
Sure. What would you like to see?
Konami's not on the scale of Nintendo, though. The way I view it is, it's like comic book companies. Like, you have your Marvels, your DC, the Top Guns, and then you have your smaller tier people who, their movies or their shows or whatever that they put out there are more niche. They're lower budget stuff. Like, Nintendo is really one of the top dogs in the video game industry. So I think what they have parlays well into the film universe, whereas a smaller company like a Konami or a Square Enix, which are still big companies, but they're not the size of a Nintendo or a PlayStation or an Xbox or something like that. I think there's more risk for the smaller companies, and that's why they do it. Like, I just don't see why they would have this film studio and just do little piddly YouTube shit with it. I guess is my sort of perception.
I just want to mention Square Enix was out of their mind when they made that. I just want to just say that they were out of their, like, even back then. I remember when it was marked, I'm like, this. I wanted to see Cloud fight somebody, and there was all this bullshit in front of me, and I'm like, I'm not watching this crap. I'm not going to the movie theater to watch this crap. They were out of their damn mind when they made that movie.
I rode my bike day one. I rode my bike to the movie theater, and the theater was empty. And I was like, "What?" Like,
they didn't put anybody new, and they overthought how popular Final Fantasy actually was to an extended audience. They thought that, oh wow, we sold 10 million copies of this and that. They had a really good run in the PS1 era of Final Fantasy, They thought that they could take advantage of that, and yeah, like you said, nobody showed up. But yeah, they were out of their mind when they made that movie.
I want to pitch an idea to y'all. So, and I have no feeling on this, but how much do you think that these ideas of Mario movies or Zelda movies or Metroid show or whatever, how much do you think that Nintendo is intending for this to go back to game sales? Because let's face it, their bread and butter is Pokemon selling 80 quadrillion copies and stuff like that. And that does seem like partially because of the Pokemon TV show and movies and stuff. Do you think that they are specifically hoping that the next Mario game sells like 80% more copies or something because of the success of the Mario movie? And do you think that if the Mario movie does good, but the game sales don't go up, do you think Nintendo will be disappointed?
No, I think it's a completely different avenue.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's supplementary income.
Yeah,
it's I would like to see. I thought about this if they did like a Punch Out series. That would be cool.
Oh no,
Let's do that.
You can't.
Why not? Just do a Punch Out series. It's fine.
Who's Little Mac gonna fight, John?
All kinds of
Mr. Dream.
Mike Tyson. You get Mike Tyson involved, dude. That would be
that would actually be cool. You get Tyson in there.
Like Jake Paul.
Dude, I would if I was making the movie.
If they wanted people to watch it, it would be Jake Paul.
Yeah, if you
it'd be an animated movie. Yeah,
no, you have to. No, you have to do a live action movie for that.
I don't want to do a live action one. I can do animated.
Have you seen Creed?
I was going to say,
you can't watch Creed and say that it should be animated. It should be a live action.
If Ryan Coogler directed fucking the Punch Out, I'd watch the hell out of it.
But what if they animated it like the boxing anime? What's it called?
With all kinds of effects and stuff in there.
That's cool, but come on, you guys know you'd love to see a live. Remember the Punch Out, or not the commercials for Punch Out on the Wii?
No.
Remember how cool that was when they did like Little Mac, and it was silly and goofy, but it was still cool. Like if they actually made a serious Punch Out, somewhat
you
serious.
you don't want it to, if you're gonna make a movie like that, you don't want it to be serious. You want it to be lighthearted. They'd cast someone who's a little scrawnier and kind of like a little bit toned, and it'd probably be like a Tom Holland going up against these.
Yes.
I can see that actually being made that way.
Yeah. Yeah, and I meant like a serious, like actually like, where they take time and effort into the movie. But yes, obviously Punch Out can't be a serious. I mean, it's the goofiest thing in game out there. But yeah, Tom Holland would be great.
Mario movie looking good, looking forward to that in April. So we'll check back in then. I'm sure we'll have more like trailers and stuff leading up to it, revealing more of the plot. So we'll see what we have. Evan, we have a Discord question over there.
I guess the last two for specifically this topic. When do you think we'll see the first full trailer for this movie? How much longer before they actually show?
Is there an animated film coming out right around Christmas? Because that's probably when they'll drop to get the most eyes on it.
You think Christmas? Okay, Christmas time. All right. I mean, we'll eventually start seeing this be played in front of other movies too in theaters, and we'll probably see extended cuts then too of it. So I think like you're saying, Jordan, probably Christmas time.
Maybe the Game Awards will have it, and they'll show it at the IMAX screening of the Game Awards.
Okay, we see it like introduction of Donkey Kong or something.
Ooh.
Okay.
And then trailer opens with the Seth Rogen laugh.
And then with the Ice Penguins and Bowser possibly collecting Power Stars, do you think this movie will be based off the Mario 64 universe?
Because they're collecting stars.
Well, ain't no sunshine.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like
64 wins again.
I think it's gonna be its own entity. Like I think it'll draw things from a lot of Mario games. I don't think it'll be set. In
I don't think they're hung up on too much Mario lore for this. It's not gonna deep dive that world.
Let's move over to the Horizon Zero Dawn remaster first. So we had this was a weird one. It popped up. It was MP first. Put it out there, and as people were asking me, they were like, "Who's MP first?" So I've used them as sources before, and they've had correct stories and all of that. So they had reported on a list that apparently got out there that was an older list, as it's been explained, and it mostly covered part of Sony's European branch, if I'm understanding this correctly. But on the list, there was the Horizon multiplayer, which is good because we kind of heard about that a little bit in passing, and now it just looks like, okay, yeah, they're working on that. So that's one of the live service games, I assume, be a Horizon multiplayer game. And Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster is a thing that's being worked on. No further details, just that it's listed and Guerrilla's working on it. Horizon Zero Dawn came out a week before Breath of the Wild in 2017, right at the end of February.
This is ridiculous.
We need a remaster for it.
I feel like I'm probably one of the biggest Horizon Zero Dawn fans on the panel. I love the game. I credit the ending. I loved it. This does not need a remaster or like. It still looks fine. I mean, they released it on PC recently, and it sold good on PC. It looks good on PC. I don't know.
They did.
Nate, how accurate is this info?
As far as the existence of the project,
Yes.
it's real. Yes, Horizon Zero Dawn is being remastered for the PS5.
They done lost their damn minds.
I mean, right now, a lot of the reactions are purely based on the idea of this project existing. No assets leaked alongside it publicly, no release window leaked with it. So it's just a reaction that this project is happening. And to the question of, do we really need a remaster of Horizon Zero Dawn? I could rebut that with, did we need a remaster of Spider-Man for PS5?
No.
Well, I can't buy that though, right? That's just packaged in with Miles Morales.
I thought you could buy it.
No, I had to give Nate the code out of the box.
Yeah, but that was at launch. I don't know if they've changed it since then.
So I mean, should we just start like remastering games that already get updates and play great and look great, and they hype it up and say, "Hey, go," and then well, let's just. Or not even like not even remaster. They say remake it, right? It's like a remake of the game.
It's a remaster.
It's listed as a remaster, but we don't know the extent of it really.
But it's enhanced on top of what they already enhanced the game, which already plays, I think, 60 frames per second.
60 frames. They put a patch out for it.
Yeah. So it's like we get it, but it's like it's already playable on there, and
I don't get it.
But some people. No, I get it for some people. Like Sean, I watched your video. And dude, I agree with what everyone's saying, but like I don't think that this is a good type of thing going forward.
I'm a little confused on this one too.
You know?
I mean, it was 5 years ago, right? It came out. Yeah, 5 years ago.
5 years ago. I just played it, before Horizon Forbidden West came out. I played it. I'm like, wow, this looks good. This looks great on PS5. No big deal. And then also, for 70, it's like, but why can't somebody just go buy the?
I have a theory.
You see, that's the thing. Like, let's say this isn't a $70 release. Let's say it's a budget release. It comes in at $29.99, like Spider-Man Remaster. Will the reactions now differ because we now have details and proof?
Did they bring back Sean Layden? Is that what's happening?
Snuck in through the back door, Bobby Digital style.
Someone post a picture of Jim Ryan holding a controller and tell me you trust him to say $30.
I mean, if they did it for that, then I think people's thoughts will change clearly. But
here's something that I'm noticing. I feel like this is kind of like a Last of Us situation in which they made the characters from The Last of Us 2 kind of retcon them to look more, you know what I'm saying, like the facial style and stuff like that. They made the characters from the first Last of Us game look more like the characters that they made with The Last of Us 2 with The Last of Us Part 1. I think that's what they're doing with this, because if you look at side by side, you can see that there are differences in Aloy from the two games. I feel like they're trying to retcon it to make her look the same throughout, kind of like they did with The Last of Us Part 1.
Sounds like a really cool free patch update that we get at some point.
You think so?
Well, and also, I mean, we now know they're doing a Ghost of Tsushima TV show and a Horizon Zero Dawn TV show and stuff. So I think with the Last of Us TV show, they released Last of Us Part 1. I think Sony's just going to do this
Is it just a director's cut? That's
basically what this is going to be. Because that's what, what's her name? Alana Pierce was saying, like, and obviously she's an employee of Sony. She was basically saying, like, it updates it so that people can watch the show and go straight into the game and straight into the second game. But it's like, I don't know. What are y'all laughing at? Let me look at the chat.
It was a super chat.
The super chat about Sean storming a building.
You see, that's like right now the reaction is just purely based on the premise that this project exists with no additional details. So let's say it does come out, it's a nice visual upgrade where it brings it close to on par with Forbidden West. Let's say it is a budget game and it comes out with the way this series has, its luck. It's probably going to come out in May of next year because it just loves to launch about a week before the next game of the year. So it will launch right alongside Breath of the Wild 2 with its luck. But let's say that's like at the absolute earliest, though we have no idea when the game is coming out. Would the reaction be the same of this is a terrible re-release because it's been 6 years?
But you're talking the problem with what you're saying is I feel like you're giving the absolute best case scenario that can happen from this, and everything that's been happening in the Jim Ryan era of PlayStation has not been the best case situation. It's been average to you're out of your fucking mind. So I have, while I think that would be a good sentiment, and yes, that probably would change the perspective, I think a lot of people don't think that's what's going to happen based on the track record thus far as things have been playing out for PlayStation over the past 2 years. There's no reason to believe that that's going to happen.
Sure.
Like, and I think that's the big problem, is that there's an image problem, and each company has their own individual image problem. But I think their image problem right now is maximize and nickel and dime as much as we can. And that's not really the problem with the other two companies that we got going on right now. So I just have no faith in this being a best of situation.
Right. Like I can look at this project and I can view it as, Sony looking as though they are creatively bankrupt of already having to remaster a game that has been patched on the PS5 to improve frame rate. And I can see all those points. It just feels as though the reaction is premature at this point, given we know next to nothing about it.
Can I ask? I'm not talking over anybody right now. Like I did click that one time. I wanted to ask MVG. I wanted to ask MVG a question.
Go ahead.
MVG, how much resources do you feel? Because I think that's where some people get upset. It's like, well, we don't have Jack, we don't have Sly, we don't have this, we don't have that. This amount of resources. Some people are saying, well, it's not that many resources, just a remake. How expensive do you think something like this would be based off of like The Last of Us, or like as a developer? Does this take away from potentially getting something else because of those resources being used, the manpower?
Well, yeah, it does, OJ. I mean, I don't know the size of like Guerrilla, how many teams they have, but this would definitely be I'll say a medium-sized team. And I think the effort to remaster this game, let's assume that they're going for a similar type of thing as what they did with The Last of Us. I would say that's at least 18-month to 2-year development job. That's not anything insignificant. So whatever that translates to in millions of dollars, but it would take a team of people to do this. And yeah, I mean, we assume that there's already other teams working on kind of the mainline stuff, but I mean, to your point, you are still taking away X number of resources, X number of $1 million away from potentially another game or a Sly Cooper, as you said, or something else. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting story to read, especially, trying to justify or trying to understand the thought process there. And I got to say, it's not something that I'm really getting my head around with this one. Last of Us, I liked it. I defended it. As you guys know, I was probably one of the only ones on the cast that did. But I could see why they would do that with The Last of Us. For Horizon, I'm not coming up with much, to be honest. Like, I just feel like, why is this happening now? It just doesn't make sense.
Now, do you think perhaps had Zero Dawn got a remaster, but it released in 2021, that it could, for let's say a budget release, that it could have been viewed as them testing the Decima engine on PlayStation 5 hardware in preparation for Forbidden West? Now that this is going to be in the reverse, that this title is not going to get the pass that it would have had it released before Forbidden West?
I mean, that's a good question.
What?
No, I know what he's getting at. I mean, he's basically saying that were they testing the waters with the Horizon patch before kind of jumping into something like this, right? I think, look, any developer wants to get experience. Like, I think all the Sony studios want to be exclusively on PS5, and look, maybe at the end of the day, this is how they get there. It's not pretty, but maybe this is the path that they're choosing to do so. They're basically taking a game from their old catalog and they're saying, okay, we're going to bring this forward to the PS5, remaster it exclusively, and this is how we're going to close the door on the PlayStation 4. So, I mean, I don't know.
Here's my question with this, though. Jeff says it's for Jeff Kerr, by the way, says Horizon is about.
I was going to break that
TV show.
story.
Okay. here's my thing with this. Sony is putting their games on PC as well, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. How do you release Horizon, say, next year on PC again after you just did it a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
I mean,
how does that work?
You can't, or
Well,
you can't without look like an idiot.
You say that, but look at Oblivion. Look at Skyrim.
Yeah,
Yeah, we made fun of that too.
That's exactly what they did, though. You know, they had that original version, and then they did the enhanced version, and they dropped it on PC. And everyone that has a fast PC and mods just laughed at it and said, "Well, I got a better version of Skyrim than this. I'm not going back to this." But I mean, look, they could do it any way they want to. At the end of the day, they could market it in any way they want to.
It's very strange stuff. I don't really
just
get
call
it.
Just call it the enhanced edition.
There you go.
You know,
maybe part
really,
of a bundle.
It's really all about the way they market it.
Yeah, I mean, it can be essentially a director's cut with, you know, the improved graphics to bring it close to Forbidden West tier.
Yes.
But like when you do view this release, I can see it from the business standpoint of where this makes sense. As Jeff mentioned, they have a TV show planned. So they're viewing this as we want to introduce that audience to the first game. And, you know, it's not in our interest for them to buy the PlayStation 4 version for $9. We want to get them at something a little more expensive. But then I can see it from the consumer point as well. And it comes back to what we had talked about with The Last of Us. If you feel when this new release is actually confirmed and shown and priced and dated that what is being offered in terms of upgrades is not enough for you, you still have the PlayStation 4 version to default to. You can get the benefits by playing it on your PlayStation 5, and you're no worse for wear. This release isn't going to remove the ability to play the original game. So if it's not enough for you, you don't have to buy it. But from a business standpoint, they want to cater to a new audience. And from a consumer standpoint, you still have the freedom to play the PlayStation 4 version.
But it kind of dilutes it, though, right? Because all of a sudden you've got you've got all
there's
these
a
different
bunch.
versions.
Let's just make 1,000 versions of every game and just do little upgrades of it and stuff. Like I get what you're saying, but I don't think that makes it right. I don't think that makes it smart to do because, you know, we're mostly talking from the business perspective of this and from the monetary perspective, but there is a perspective of optics too, of how people view you as a company and how you release your games and stuff. And, you know, Sony's riding high with the PlayStation 5 right now. There's been a couple, you know, very questionable decisions. And this, to me, if we're talking about a full-on $70 game, like I definitely think we are talking.
It cannot be $70. Oh, my gosh.
It might.
I honestly think it will be.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Go on.
You got to
see why it wouldn't.
Yeah, you got to look at precedent. I mean,
well, but we had Uncharted Legacy of Thieves. That was 50.
But Legacy of Thieves, did it give you? It gave you Uncharted 4 as well.
I give you 4 and Lost Legacy.
And if you already owned
and if you already owned it, it was a $10 upgrade.
Yeah, if you owned either of the games, it was
when did that game come out?
A year and a half ago.
Last year.
I'm pretty sure Sean Layden put he started that. That was his thing, and they stuck with that.
There you go.
That's why they fired him.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that was probably Sean Layden's thing. Okay, everything else. Listen.
I will say if it's $10 to upgrade for Horizon, I don't know if there'll be that kind of backlash for it. Then they'll be like, oh, okay, whatever.
Does anybody miss Sean Layden? I really do miss Sean Layden.
Sony employees don't.
I actually like. Oh man,
what about Jack Tretton?
I mean, Jack Tretton was. He was all right.
Like at E3 one year.
He was all right, but I think Layden was like the number one, like the dude that I felt, because like I felt like Layden came in like PS4. The PS4 era I think it was pretty solid. The PS3 era was good too. I think there was a lot, you know, but I just think that this era with Sony, it's not terrible. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're putting out stuff, but yeah, it just seems. Sean's videos aren't helping me either whenever I watch it.
Because of it.
Sean's videos are, I think one thing, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's not. And then I saw Sean's video, I'm like, well, damn, wait a minute here. Wait a minute, hold up. And then I watch MVG, and then you guys are a bit more balanced. I'm like, well, I guess I'm okay. You know?
They lost their damn mind.
Did we see this?
I mean, I just play the games. Look, I'm not really looking, you know, I kind of stay in my lane with the RPG stuff, you know, like, you know.
Oh, we got all the opinions.
but when it comes to, I'm just looking to see what other people think about Sony this generation. And it kind of seems like it's so off and on. It's like a roller coaster. It's like a crazy roller coaster of, you know, of decisions and stuff. You know, not consistent, and sometimes there's games, sometimes there's not. It's just like it's all over the place.
But that's why I talked about this in a video this week, which is that I feel weird in that I love PlayStation Studio games. I feel like they're firing on cylinders when it comes to storytelling and quality and gameplay, but the projects are so sporadic and you have no idea how much they're going to cost, and you have no idea if it's going to get re-released 18 times or if it'll get DLC. It's like it's much less of a guarantee, whereas we all went through the ups and downs of the PlayStation 3. Every game got DLC. Every game they marketed the hell out of it. I don't know. This new Sony is very quiet and very sporadic.
I mean, I do find it disappointing from other internal teams that Sony has that we're seeing games that are locked away on the PS3. We have Resistance. We have the original Infamous games, and those are the type of games you would love to see make a comeback with a remaster or a remake for the PlayStation 5. The games we cannot play. And it's a shame that they're looking at like a Horizon Zero Dawn saying, let's do this instead of revisiting some of those PlayStation 3
I will buy original
prisoners.
Infamous 70 full on remaster. Sign me up.
I bet
any day of the week.
I bet you an Infamous series would actually work too on a streaming service. I bet you they could make a narrative, some kind of show out.
Not everything needs a damn TV show.
Apparently it does. Look, we need they're remastering Horizon Zero Dawn because there's a show. We need shows for everything.
The
We need a
Medium.
Sly Cooper show.
The Medium's getting a TV show. The Medium, like
we need a Mega Man show. We got to do all this stuff,
if we have to get a show to get a game, then you know what? I suddenly want an Infamous show.
Someone get Netflix on the phone.
I mean, it would be pretty. I mean, Infamous would be a pretty cool show, and like just to reference Guerrilla, since they are the ones behind Horizon. Imagine if they remastered the original Killzone trilogy for PlayStation 5.
Yeah. And it was like and they did multiplayer on that, and it was PS5 and PC
you
crossplay.
had the multiplayer for games as a service.
And we'll actually play a game then with us.
What if they remade
that
Killzone 2 in the fake E3 trailer?
Oh, see, now we're talking. That's a secret. That's a bonus level. After you beat the game on the hardest difficulty, you can go through that.
That'd be cool.
See, I'm coming up with it. There we go.
I want a Puppeteer movie. It'd be a good movie.
We do. We need the Puppeteer movie so we can get a new game. That's what we need to do from now on. Is just that. But that means whenever we see a movie or series, we're gonna expect a game. So does that mean that Gravity Rush is making a return? I don't know.
Well, I mean, what are they going to do? Another remaster of the remaster? I mean, I feel like Gravity Rush still looks and plays great.
Hey, why not? Hey, we're trying to figure out if we get God of War Ragnarok now or wait for the remaster.
Wait, isn't the original Gravity Rush really expensive now because it's difficult to find?
Yeah.
You just answered it.
GameStop had a bunch of used copies about a year ago, so it drove the price down. But even a used copy was costing about $60.
It's more than
it's far better than when it was, $100 plus.
Yeah, definitely.
You might still be able to get it at GameStop.
We think this Horizon Zero Dawn. We think this is out next year. They're just going to drop it. You think?
It's so hard to say. If it's just a quick and dirty $10 DLC upgrade thing, probably. But if it's a Last of Us type of deal, then could be a while before we see it.
Well, the MP1 with a fake made up website, they said that it's going to update the gameplay to be like Horizon Forbidden West. That's why I think this may be a project that lands in 2024.
Can Aloy prone and dodge in?
Yeah, exactly. She'll also be able to swing a golf club.
Oh man, that's great. Evan, we have a Discord question over there.
We did have one for this topic, but I think we covered it for the most part. They were just trying to run it through the lens of what happened to Alpha Dream with their Mario and Luigi remakes for the 3DS, but I think we covered it for the most part. So let's just go. Is Retromania ever going to get finished and have a limited run games copy out?
MVG, you work for a limited run, not me.
I do, but I mean, I don't know anything about.
Sean's in the game, isn't he? He told me that. He said, "I'm in the game. I call the shots." Sean, let him know.
You're in the game, so
Shit.
you tell me.
I have no idea. You would have to ask them all that stuff.
They were at too many games, I think, last time.
Yeah.
I said hi.
Yeah, I don't.
They asked where Sean was. Said he couldn't come out and see himself in this game. Sorry. Let me go. Let me go to the super chats here. Liam says, will you guys watch Last of Us show in 2023 or wait for the reboot in 2024? Then we have 3D with a little sticker here. Thank you, 3D. And he says, do you think Capcom will ever do anything with the Breath of Fire IP again, or is it just dead? I don't know how
Maybe.
Never say never.
Maybe.
Sure. Okay. Kratos says, bought a Stadia to keep sealed because of his demise. Yeah, you never know. The museum might need that in 100 years. You never know.
Yeah, good paperweight.
I know a guy making a museum.
Snoop says, who saw the Persona 4 Twitter thread? I finally understand the topic. And it's sad Atlas holds such archaic beliefs.
It's out of context. I did see that thread. If you play the game, it all makes sense. There's arcs that seem homophobic and stuff in the game, but if you play the character art, it's sort of saying the opposite. But yeah, there is a thread with some out of context lines that look bad.
Okay. Sean says, is any of the Spawncast trying Grounded? I did try Grounded.
How was it, John?
I played it for... Actually said to play it for 3 hours. I did my best. I am not really do not like survival games, but I gave it a good try. No one else on the podcast would jump on with me.
You never told me when you were playing. The guy just hops on. He's like, "Oh, I need to play a co-op." Plays by himself. Oh, no one wants to play with me.
No one get on. I can try it again. I'm willing to. It's better now because they have a story. There's a narrative portion to it, and it tries to at least walk you through the structure of a game, rather than before they would just drop you in and you just made your own fun. You can still do that, but it's a bit more streamlined now.
That seems like an Evan game.
It kind of does. I was playing that. I'm like, this seems like a game Evan would like.
I watched some people play it.
Though.
I watched some people play it. It didn't really impress me in the directions I would play a survival game, but I mean, it seems fine enough. I was thinking more Marauders, but I have no idea.
It kind of has a bit of a Minecraft vibe to it because you're just building your bases out.
And I loved Valheim for what it does, but I don't know. Grounded just didn't seem interesting to me for some reason.
I gave it a shot. It's just not my kind of game. I can understand. I mean, the visual actually looked better than I was expecting. When I was like, oh wow, visuals, this looks pretty good. But I did get killed by a big wolf spider, so that happened, and that's about it. I did go in an anthole though, so I could get like some kind of sap or something. I don't know. But I built one portion of a base, and I'm like, I'm going back to Dio Field now.
Good choice.
But it was just me. It was very lonely. No one else would play. So I tried. I gave it a shot. No one else on the podcast would join me. It's definitely not Nate.
You didn't ask anybody.
He did. He did ask, and we all said
he asked people to download it, and I said I will, and then he never said he was playing the game.
I'm pretty sure I said I'd rather play Halo or something.
Yeah, I'll play Halo.
First, it was, hey guys, everyone download Destiny 2. Let's all play that. And then a week later, hey guys, let's all play Grounded. What's next week's game, John?
That's why I don't download them. Because I know
I played Destiny 2 for a little while there, though. I was rolling. I tried Grounded. Grounded was only like 8 gigabytes though, but
I remember when John made me buy Among Us for $5 and we played it once.
It was a really good time though.
I mean,
because you were killing everybody, and I'm sitting there saying, "It's him. He tried to kill me," and they're like, "I don't trust you, Nate," and they shoot me out of the ship.
That's because I was like, "Well, you know what? Nate might have a point. It might be me," and everyone's like, "It's got to be Nate."
Stupid ass channel.
I think my favorite part of that
anxiety.
My favorite part of that was one of the plays where I clearly was caught by.
He got caught.
And then I gaslit him into him being the killer, and everyone believed me.
Jordan was definitely caught doing it, and I have no idea how any of that happens.
Everyone always thinks I did it anyway, so
well, because you'd just be like, yeah, it was me. I'll do it again.
Ruffle says, what are Dreamcast guys' thoughts on blasters in Splatoon 3? I think getting rid of ink armor has made them top tier. Hope the cast is doing well.
Blasters? I don't know. Do you mean like the snipers? Or you mean like ink dualies?
The blaster type, if I'm not mistaken, is sort of like that mid-range explodey round, like the sort of mid-range
like
missile launcher type thing. It's like slow fire.
One. It's like a short, like circular, just like blast at you.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Not a lot of range, but it's pretty powerful. Obviously, mid range, close up.
I think it's strong, but I don't use it. I pretty much only use the 52 gal, and I use the like flamethrower thing. I'm super the arrow spray, and I win a lot. I used to use the ink roller constantly, but once I found arrow spray, I use that a lot, especially on tower control, which is my favorite.
This is from Leo saying Sony won't handicap its console sales by doing day and date releases. A day one release of a 2017 remaster means nothing. Okay, cool. Let's go into Oh, and then Future says they just snagged an Xbox Mini fridge from Walmart for $80. Very nice.
Nice.
Go into the PlayStation PC stuff, because Herman Holst had a bunch of interviews over the week, and he talked quite a bit about their strategy going forward, mostly about live service games, but also some about their single player stuff, and even mentioned that the PS4 is going to be around for a while. Sounds like we might be in the end of 2024 and being like, when's that PS4 going away? So it's going to be a little while there. But he did talk about the PC and PlayStation releases, as we've seen PC releases, just accelerate massively. We are seeing PC announcements from Sony left and right, and we're still waiting for things like Returnal to show up, and that's clearly leaked out. So at this point, what Herman Holst has now said is that they're going to be doing some live service games that are going to release day one on PC and PlayStation same time from PlayStation Studios. So that is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Max, I've been saying this for years.
Yes.
It's finally happening. I see confirmation now from Mr. Herman Holst himself.
Yeah.
And they did though say that single player games are their most profitable ones still at this point. I will challenge them on that if they find success with a live service game, because those make a stupid amount of money. But single player titles will be at least a year buffer between PlayStation release and then PC. However, that number continues to shrink. At one point, we didn't know how long. We thought it'd be years, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Now it's down to nearly a year, according to Herman Holst.
Bloodborne coming along.
Isn't that the question? What is going on with Bloodborne? How is this not a thing yet?
Tell me.
Blowing my mind. A good thing we're hitting the remaster horizon though. Oof, that was close. So looking at this, I think before the end of this generation, they will have a single player game that's PC and PlayStation day one.
Yeah.
Like their narrative driven game.
I do too.
I think so. I think so.
I think so too. Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think they will. I wouldn't be shocked if Last of Us Part 3 was day and date.
No, give me Wolverine so I can play it on my Steam Deck.
I don't know. That one might be like 2 years, to be honest. But
and I guess that's what I'm curious about, is I feel like the thing that's going to push it the most is once if they sell 50 million PS5s or something, to throw out just like a high but reasonable number. Like once they reach 50 million PS5s in like 4 or 5 years, I think I could definitely see them starting to do day and date. Because at that point, they're like, all right, everybody with a PS5 is going to buy this anyway. So let's just throw it on PC for free money and then do one advertising push, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, let's start with this. Do we think the PS5 is going to reach or outsell the PS4?
No.
Okay.
It's PS4 just over 100.
16 million?
The PS4 is going to
100
sell though.
But they've stopped reporting numbers on it.
117 million. It's like 160 and some change, right?
Well, they stopped reporting numbers.
Yeah, they stopped reporting numbers. Yeah.
But if they continue to support the system, that's obviously going to be a cheaper alternative towards the PS5. And if games are still coming out for it, I think there could be an interesting, you put together a PS4 bundle or something like that around the holiday season for the next year or two. I think there's a chance that it could still continue to sell. Now, will the PlayStation 5 go beyond that? And it's too early to say, really. I mean, statistically speaking, based on the charts that we've seen, it's tracking very well. But it all depends on what the life cycle is. What's the video game landscape going to look like in 5 years? With the PlayStation 4, I think we all pretty much understood at the start of that generation, towards the tail end of that generation, that we weren't going to have a lot of the big push for cloud stuff and games as a service quite as much as it was back in 2013, 2014. So I think it just depends on what the video game landscape looks like in 5 years and how long they keep that PlayStation 4 on life support, because I think it's gonna, like you said, I've said it for a while, but I definitely think 2023, 2024, you're still gonna have PlayStation 4 games.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the sales are pretty. They're
behind the PS4. They're tracking back behind it.
Yeah, but the sales are just like the PS4, for them to resurrect that system, because it's pretty much dead. I mean, they sold 14 units in Japan this past week. So I mean, it's
14,
pretty.
geez.
I don't think they're shipping them anymore. Yeah,
they're not even. I mean, it's just not. It's not a thing. I mean, they can still maybe do something, but that manufacturing that you'd put together would definitely cut into what they're trying to do with PS5 in terms of getting the PS5 stock back up, which it seems like that's working right now. So we'll have to see going forward. I mean, it's possible that they reach PS4 numbers. I mean, but obviously they'd have to, it's like Sean said, they'd have to, like we'd have to see how the landscape is.
They have to start accelerating sales pretty quick here soon.
Yeah.
Unless this is a 12-year system or something.
But if the stock is getting better, so people are able to get, like, if you go on PS Directs, it was available like without crazy bundles. So if that stock can get better and stay in this type of way that we're starting to see, then I think you start seeing them in stores. Like I think
there was a rumor Tom Henderson had reported a month or so ago that Sony was looking to sell or ship 30 million PS5s in the coming fiscal year.
I saw that,
ridiculous.
Yeah. So I mean that's an insane number.
If they can do that, then that will catch them up, I would say, on the PS4. But they would need to get all that out, and the logistics behind that are insane.
I have had subscribers send me pics though of freaking PS5s in Walmarts specifically.
I haven't seen it in store yet. I see it caught it on the PS Direct many times. Like I go on there, it's the Horizon bundle for $550. I mean, it's there. It might even be stock right now for all I know. Because at one point, for the course of a week, I would just go to the website to check, and it was always in stock. So,
yeah, I gotta buy one for my cousin for Christmas.
If I see a PS5 in store, I will take a picture of it.
Yeah, I haven't seen one in store. I haven't seen an Xbox. The only thing that I've seen is Xbox Series S a couple times. But for the most part, I still haven't seen a PS5 or an Xbox Series X in stores. And the area that I live is super game centric. Like we got a bunch of freaking nerds here because all of our GameStops are still open, so like, and they're all doing fine, so yeah. So
I think they will get to that point though before the end of this generation. Something from their big PlayStation studios, single player will launch on PC and PlayStation day one. And I'm looking at these games, the cost just keeps going up for these games with the expectations. So they need to sell more than 20 million copies on some of these games, I'm sure, and they're not seeing it right now. So they got to look elsewhere as well. Bigger launches, bigger releases, pair them with the TV shows and the movies and put it on PC. That's really the reason I'm seeing is just there's a breaking point eventually where they got to move to other avenues of revenue, and PC and mobile seem like good opportunities for them. So the thing that's interesting is they are a hardware first company for the most part still. So that's got to be a tough decision on their part to make that happen. So live service makes sense. I don't think anyone was really doubting that too much. So
I mean, live service is tough because we really have to see a meaningful product from Sony release. We can assume the first big game as a service will probably be The Last of Us Factions.
Yeah, definitely.
Hold on a minute. Do you think these live service games are gonna be free to play?
Yeah, I would imagine in some cases, yes.
Okay, but do you think all of them will be free to play?
No,
I don't think you could come to that conclusion that all of them would be free.
Okay, but do we think that most, if not all, the live service games they release will be PlayStation and PC same day? Like they'll just put them out there day one. We're gonna do crossplay the whole deal.
Is that what they said?
I think they will
make sure I have that solidified there with everyone before I go to my next point.
I think they will eventually. I still think this next year. Like I think Factions is gonna have an upfront cost, and I think that Factions is gonna start on PS5.
Okay, so I can play on my PC. Crossplay then with UMax on your PS5.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully.
Okay. Do I need PlayStation Plus to do that?
Right. That's the question.
Because if I don't on PC, technically then it costs more money to play it on PlayStation.
Well,
if it's not free to play, it has to be free to play.
How do games like Fortnite operate on PlayStation?
It's free to play, so you don't have to have PlayStation Plus.
Okay.
So it needs to be free to play. That's what I mean. That's why I'm thinking Sony is going to have a lot of these live service games just free to play, and does that then, as we heard, dilute the market with a ton of these live service free to play games from Sony? Because that's a weird thing to consider that you do have to pay on the PlayStation, right, to play these multiplayer games, but then on PC, the people you're cross playing with wouldn't have to. That seems like a strange thing for Sony to work around and communicate as to like why.
Well, and especially with these free-to-play games where, let's face it, the point is to entice you into the microtransactions. So you don't want a microtransaction just to log into it, so to speak.
Yeah. So the easiest way around that is just make it free-to-play. But then it's like, are we going to do 10 free-to-play games in the next 5 years or something? 6 years? That's a lot.
I mean, that's what they said, right? 12 free-to-play games.
I thought they did say that they're going to do like double-digit free.
They said they're going to do live service games, and we immediately think live service means it would be free to play, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, live service. My bad.
But it could be like Destiny, where Destiny just charges. Like if that expansion comes out, it's money. If Destiny 2 comes out, when that did it, you had to buy it.
But Destiny's free to play though, now, right?
Now it's free to play. Yeah. So they kind of transitioned off of that. But it's this weird thing that I assume Sony has to bet. We need to see some of these live service games get an idea, but that was something that kind of came to mind when they said that. I'm like, well, the PC isn't. They're not doing the PlayStation Plus stuff, so it's something to think about there. It's interesting.
Like one of the games that leaked this week for games as a service is the Horizon Online game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now we have no idea what direction this game is going to take. All we could maybe assume is that it's going to Monster Hunter style. Now, if let's say that's free to play, is that a good direction for that style of game, or do you think they would rather charge for it? If it is, I guess it would depend on can you play it solo offline as its own product and not rely on online components.
What was that game that came out that was kind of like Dauntless? That was kind of a Monster Hunter-esque.
Wild Hearts? Or you?
It is Dauntless. Yeah,
Dauntless. Yeah, it was like a free-to-play Monster Hunter style game that came out on everything, but I mean, it didn't necessarily light the world on fire because half the people here had no clue what the fuck I was talking about.
I played Dauntless. That's the funny thing is I played Dauntless. I thought you were talking about a game that was like Dauntless that's upcoming, but no, I played it, but no, it's nowhere near as it's nowhere near as good as Monster Hunter. And like the free to play nature, to me at least, it breaks up the flow. Like whenever I start seeing hub worlds and then a bunch of microtransactions being slammed on me and all this type of weird stuff, I just start to kind of reel back a little bit, and I'd rather just go to something like Monster Hunter or just play a big single player game where you're fighting big monsters like Horizon or something like. I'd rather just do that than waste my time sitting there and going through menus and micromanaging, all this type of stuff that they do in these free to play games. Like it's just annoying. There's enough games to where I don't have to go out there and spend my time in that when I can just play something else that are cheap too. Like you can go get. There's plenty of games. So that's for me at least with all this free to play and live service stuff. It just. I don't know. I'm old.
And that's not even that, OJ. I think one of the things that everyone seems to just forget when having these conversations is for every super successful live service game, there's 20 plus, 50 plus of games that completely fail and the company's lost out their ass on it. So all because something goes free to play, all because something is free to play, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be this big cash cow for you. Right. And I feel like the way Sony talks about their free to play stuff, they're under that impression that all these are going to be huge rounding successes. And it's like, bro, you don't know that.
Well, did you see, Sean? Did you see what happened with Babylon's Fall? They talked about it and they were like, yeah, we're going to try it again. That's basically what they said. We'll take another shot at it. It's cool.
It's crazy, man. Like, I mean, it's so weird.
I mean, the same can be said with non-live service games. There's metric tons of like indie games that come out that no one gives a shit about that actually sometimes are better than regular single player games. It's just that the highs for games of service games are so much higher than just a regular single player game.
There's also a weird perception by the community where they'll say, oh, this, live service game is dead. And then you actually see the metrics come out and the game is far from dead. I mean, I'm sure if you had asked people a year ago, do you think Rainbow Six Siege is successful? They'd say, who's heard of it? No, the game only has about 50 million players. Mm-hmm. But you would have had people say, no, that game is dead. And it's quite the opposite. So there is a perception within the community where because they're not playing the game, they assume there is no active community.
But look at Sea of Thieves. People believe that Sea of Thieves is this massive flop for Rare, and it's like the most successful game they've ever made. It's this weird thing, right?
Opposite because they're not playing. Like we'll just use Grounded as a recent example because no one's on the panel has played Grounded.
Oh, whoa! I played it.
An ant.
I played it when it was in beta. I played it for
2 years ago. That doesn't count. It's actually released now.
Nope, doesn't count.
They put it out in the store for me to play. It counts. Point blank period.
So like you'll have people saying, "Oh, Grounded's doing terrible," and all of a sudden we're gonna have Microsoft come out in like June of next year and say we have 25 million active players, and we're all gonna sit there and say, "Oh, wow."
Yeah, doesn't mean it's a good game though. Justin Bieber, look at your top pop artists selling albums and stuff.
Let's be real. Like Justin Bieber though?
No, he's weirdo.
But like Roblox. Roblox
Justin
has how
Bieber
many
is-
active people like playing that? Isn't it some crazy amount? And then they go public and they're valued more than EA.
Roblox, nuts, man. I don't know if any of you guys have. Well, no, some of you guys have kids, but my daughter is into Roblox, and it's nuts, man. Like that game is crazy.
I think at this point it's time to drop the pay to play online for some of these consoles. It's over.
What are you talking about? They're adding in more pay to play stuff for your online.
No, I do. Have you seen Xbox Live games with gold?
Yeah,
it's time to close that down.
It's been time to close that.
It's time. There's no other benefit outside of them
2
handing
years.
you some really old Xbox Live arcade games. Oh, if I read you the selection of games in this past month, it's disgusting. It's time. It's time to close that down.
Oh my fucking!
I mean,
Microsoft set the market. Microsoft set it.
Their goal is once Game Pass gets to a certain subscription number that they will get rid of
Go for it.
gold.
Get rid of it. Make it free to play online. I want to see Sony confused. I want to see Nintendo looking sideways. I'm ready. Let's see it.
So you started posting about it. I literally forgot about games with gold.
Dude, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
They do a trailer every month. Make sure you
It's so-
subscribe
I
to the
cover it every
Xbox
month.
YouTube channel.
I cover it every month, and it's bad.
Today, Major Nelson comes out. He's a
Oh,
fucking
gosh.
dork. I hate that. I've always.
Hey,
why is,
What did Larry do to
He's a
you?
good dude.
What did you
is he?
say?
Is he a serviceman? Was he in a war or something? So why the fuck is he called a major?
Why are you called RGT? You ain't covered anything retro in 85 years.
I fucking just did a Saturn video and fucking Facebook groups got mad at me for
That was
making a
weeks
video.
ago.
Yeah, it was
So
right.
now you gotta be what? So is John Spawn or something like that?
Yeah.
You should be talking about Spawn. How about that Spawn movie that was supposed to have a trailer and everything? How you didn't cover that, John?
You never,
thought there
John
was-
never
they
talked
never
about
said-
the.
I don't want to brag though.
Yeah, but they never said it was a trailer, just announcements, and then they just talked
There's
about the
a review
writers.
of the Spawn movie with John Leguizamo.
That's a good one.
It's a good movie. I like that movie.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I watched that with my grandma.
welcome.
That was not a good choice.
Bro, I watched
Yeah,
Rambo 3 with my grandma. My grandma loves the fucking Rambo movies.
we have.
Really?
That's weird.
Let me get back to the super chats here. This is from Quest saying, "Take 3D Zelda formula and insert Mega Man." Genius. Sure, you could do that. Just plot Mega Man in there. Uncharted Wolf says, "What's most likely to come back? Jack and Daxter or Sly Cooper, or just another PS4 remake?" Thanks, Sony. Also loving the second channel, Jordan. All right.
Not there.
I'll talk. Spectrobes is great, by the way, guys. It's fantastic.
Jack and Daxter or Sly Cooper? Which one has the best chance?
Jack.
Fly.
Sly.
Okay.
Didn't
I
some
wouldn't-
guy on Twitter say that Sly was getting a new game and then it like never happened?
Oh, that liar? Yeah,
Oh.
I mean that dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you're talking
Sucker
about Sean.
Punch came out and said we're not making one.
I just remember.
Yeah, they're not making one. Mm.
Mm.
Got him.
Could be
What's
the new
What's
live
Sumo
service
doing?
game.
Didn't they get
What
bought
is-
out by like Tencent or something?
Yeah,
What is
What's,
Yeah, they
Sumo
do.
what's
doing?
Sumo doing, Nate?
What is Sumo doing? I wonder.
Huh?
They were on that leaked list.
They
They're
were on
making
the
something
list,
called
yeah.
Carbon.
Yeah,
if you watch my video, yeah, they
Is
made
that the Carbon engine?
Is it
Carbon.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Can
I
I
don't
Sounds
find
like a
out?
car game to me.
Let's see where they land.
Need for Speed
What?
Carbon.
See if they
Yo,
get
what?
some gold
take
puzzle
that.
pieces.
On that leaked list. Do we think that Project Camden is the Silent Hill game, since that's Camden,
No.
London, something?
Liam says,
Camden, New Jersey, stand up.
"Oh no." Liam says, "Is it possible that the Italian voice was avoided in the U.S. due to backlash to those being more prevalent than other countries?" It was due to
What?
backlash to those things being more prevalent than other countries. Oh, if it was like a heavy Italian accent, would that put people off? Or what's the
No.
phrase, Sean? Ruffle feathers?
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, it would. But the thing is, no matter what you do in any sort of entertainment, you're gonna piss some weird sect of people that you didn't even know existed off. So just fuck them and do what you want to do in your own vision, and realize that you can't please everyone. So don't worry about it.
I mean, if you had Michael Imperioli voice Mario and he just talks like a New Jersey Italian.
Yeah, you
Why
fuck
would
with the
that upset
gabagool.
Yeah, if you went to go get the gabagool, I mean, who's that going to upset? That's how he talks.
I once stumbled into horse Twitter, and they were complaining that in every fucking movie, when you hear those horses going like when they're like galloping and shit, apparently that's the horse noise for "I'm ready to fuck." And apparently, horse Twitter gets mad that they use that same soundbite in every movie.
I don't know. There's a horse Twitter, but horse Twitter need to go. So
I know. Yes,
because
down with horse Twitter.
Who do you think is there? It's horse people.
Horse Twitter? You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry, weirdo people who are obsessed with horses and equestrian bullshit. Just I don't know. I don't even know that horses had a "I want to fuck" noise, and apparently it's everywhere.
All of the producers that don't care about horse Twitter. Let me just say that. Ignore horse Twitter. Just 100%.
Fuck horse Twitter.
I looked over.
Their opinions don't matter. Let me just say
Sean, I looked over and saw this question, and it kind of made me laugh a little bit here because you just talked about this. Shout out to John, by the way, here, John O, with the $99.99 super chat, massive super chat. Appreciate it, John O, saying just popping in to say I appreciate you all. Each of you has your own niche and style nailed, and you all helped me through some hard times a while back. Thank you and keep it up. Question. Anyone ever play something while on a treadmill? Help prep for BB competition. All right, Sean, tell us. Have you played anything on a treadmill recently?
So I go on the treadmill every day for about an hour. It's in my living room, and I've come to realize that Halo Infinite Big Team Battle is actually really fun. I usually do the social stuff, but sometimes I won't do it. But Halo Big Team Battle is really fun, and I think it was yesterday I was playing it, and sometimes you get a little bit off, like your center of balance gets off because you're in a first person perspective. And yesterday I was going and I was just playing, I was going on the treadmill, and I just stepped kind of funny and I ate shit, dude. I fucking just I hit the ground. I was like, motherfucker,
the treadmill, and it like sent you flying backwards at the same time because
I went off the side. I went off the side of it, dude, because I was kind of like my balance was off a little bit. It sucked, dude. That's
the best when you fall on a treadmill and it's still spinning, so it just launches you backwards.
Yes.
I played all the way through Tales of Arise on a treadmill. That was actually pretty good amount of time too. And I played
Tales of
Arise. Yeah,
that tells about that game. All I gotta say is that tells you about that game that you can play through. That tells you about that game, John.
I played through Tales of Arise, and I also played through Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition on the treadmill.
Wow,
that's different.
And I played through like probably 30 or 40% of Death Stranding. I played a lot of games. Nate, what are you doing?
I think he's trying to DMCA us real quick. Nate, I'm gonna mute you.
Yeah, mute him, please. My God.
Dear God, Nate.
Fucking I was super addicted to Slay the Spire, but I made it a point to only play it on the Twitter because on the Twitter or Twitter only. No, I made it a point to play that on the treadmill, and I would just do it because it took me an hour to beat the game, so I played it.
That's one of the best things you can do though, is get a game and only play it while you're in the treadmill, and that'll actually motivate you to be on the treadmill. It's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Just take your treadmill and literally push it up against. I had a monitor downstairs in the basement at the old place, and I just sat it right there, like 5 feet from the treadmill. I just played different games on the PlayStation. That was it. And the Switch. I had a dock and I had the PlayStation right there.
2K is kind of fun.
All these people who never recognized a song yesterday, go listen to the Beatles.
They sing it much better than Nate just tried.
One, only Paul McCartney sings it.
I never really.
I am not Paul McCartney. I sing it
no,
my
you
way.
are not.
Shout out to John O. Shout out to John O.
My treadmill is in my living room.
Do you think we have Anson with a nice little Fox sticker here? And then we have Foxten saying, do you think they'll use Nintendo Pictures for movies going forward or just for game cutscenes? Well, we're not really sure what they're going to do for now. But maybe those shorts, like you said, Nate, maybe something like that. Or maybe the full-on, they make the Nintendo Cinematic Universe.
Medusa is right. I was the walrus.
Okay. Alexian says, RGT will watch a video of someone recording the Mario movie with their 240p phone camera, then fall asleep halfway through.
Goddamn right I will.
Just go pay the $11 and go see it in IMAX.
Nah, man. Because then you got to get a drink. Then you got to get a snack. And now you're talking like $25.
Carry it in under your big coat you'll probably wear in there looking like a weirdo at a kid's movie by yourself.
Exactly. See, then you got people looking at you and shit. Nah, bro, ain't doing
Sean will
it.
be outside the theater in his beanie, smoking his friggin' cigarette, looking at the kids go by, like, yeah, I'm gonna go watch the Mario movie too.
Jesus.
You want to come back to my arcade?
No, I don't fucking invite people over here.
No, you look for like single mothers, be like, hey.
Oh yeah. But, hey, you know, you're a little kid, you go play in the arcade. Yeah. No, that's different.
What theater are you getting a ticket, drinks, and snacks for $25?
Is that cheap?
Yes, my theater. I have not seen a movie. I haven't paid for a movie that's under $19 minimum for the ticket itself.
Oh, out of your goddamn mind!
Yeah, you are. You're fine. The one near me is like $9. So,
well, good for you. I have one theater near me, and it's $19 for a bare minimum. No IMAX.
You gotta get those AAA movie ticket passes.
No, I don't. I don't buy scams. Sorry.
True. Scams. My grandmother gives me those every year for the last like 30
and old
years.
people
I got like
always get
1,200
scammed.
tickets.
Old people just get scammed.
Aaron says French dub is the best in my opinion. It sounds the most like the voice of Mario games, especially it's in the Mario games, especially Mario, even if it is in French. Gravity says I still think Kid Icarus would make a great anime.
Oh yeah,
I think Kid Icarus would be pretty cool actually. Yeah.
And we need a game.
Timon says, what's the final sales number for Metroid Dread? Are we getting Balan Wonderworld? Well, we don't have any update for sales numbers, and the only Hail Mary that left is for the September 30th report, and that is out the first week of November. But as Sean said, because I went back and looked, and we did agree on that report, I checked. As in Sean's words, it doesn't matter if we wait till then because they're not going to mention it anyway.
I think that the 1 year anniversary thing that they did the other day, I think that would have been a good opportunity. Like, well, why not? You're making a post about it to say you got this new thing. Thank the people who bought the game. Say thank you to the 3+ million people who bought the game, assuming that it did sell 3 million. You know, for buying the game. Like, it's just so weird because every other company, you know, does things like that. You're celebrating the game, you're celebrating the anniversary. But I'll probably still. Yeah, exactly. I'll still play Balan anyways. So it'll be my Christmas gift to you.
Christmas
Lost
gift?
Heathens.
They didn't do it for Fire Emblem. They didn't do it for all the other games that hit past whatever the previous games did. They just don't do it.
Hopefully they have a big box thing for Metroid Prime 4 because I'll have to locate 2 of those then.
Yeah.
Get 2 of them. I get the Metroid Dread one pretty easily. So, Geeky Gaming Family says it seems very immature for a dude in his 30s to swear at an actor for his voice in a movie targeted at 8-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
It wasn't me this time. That's
well, yeah, he's making fun of me. Okay, well, you're watching a podcast of 30-year-olds complaining about video games, bud.
Jordan's not 30.
MVG wishes he was 30.
Well, yeah, I'm 40-year-old. So.
It's always a weird thing where people online complaining about what you're doing online. Hey, bitch, it's Saturday night. Why aren't you balls deep in some hooker? Like, get the fuck out of here if you don't like it.
Well, why aren't you?
Goodness.
Because I'm a lonely man. And also a girl sending me nudes right now, so I'm basically doing it.
This is from Aaron says #Tom Holland for Link.
I'd watch that.
No. What about how's the guy who played Spider-Man looking nowadays?
That's Tom Holland.
No, the good Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield.
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. Garfield.
Toby.
Toby's looking rough.
He's a little bit too old to play Link.
What about Ferris Bueller?
Hold on, you still haven't watched the latest Spider-Man movie?
No, I watched Spider-Man 2 today though.
He's slowly catching up.
As I was playing it on my Steam Deck.
You got to watch the latest Spider-Man though.
I watched the good ones.
But Tobey Maguire's in that one.
So I don't. Oh, okay, then I'll check it out.
Yeah, check it out. It's the latest one.
Is it on?
I told you this last time, and you asked the same question.
He's in with all the other Spider-Men, Sean.
Is it on the Disney?
No,
is it?
Not yet.
It's Sony. It's Sony's.
Sony owns
movie.
Yeah,
so
this is a return to Sony.
It's on something, isn't it? Hold on, what is it?
It's on like Stars or something like that.
I'll find a bootleg. Don't worry.
I probably have an extra digital copy. we went over this last week. We had the same conversation.
Yeah.
Dude, memory shot.
You said you didn't want to watch it because of reasons.
Yeah, but he just watched Spider-Man 2, so now he's on like that Spider-Man Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, and I'm playing Spider-Man on the Steam Deck again.
So you want to see Tobey Maguire when he's much older?
I mean, he's still Spider-Man to me. If I want to watch Willy Wonka, I'm going to watch fucking Gene Wilder, not Johnny Depp, even though I love Johnny Depp.
Check it out then, because they have him in there. So and he's in action. He's actually Spider-Man. So Sean says Metroid live action. Also, Mario movie has the voice actor listed. Are we sure he won't have some voiceovers like "Here we go" in it? Or maybe they have Wario. Maybe Wario's in the movie.
He's also just a talented voice actor who can voice anything in the film and doesn't have to be anything related to Mario as a character.
Why the fuck am I not the voice of Mario?
Yeah, right.
Mike Pratt.
Zoob says Spirits Within was the first time I heard of Final Fantasy.
Dear God.
Oh, no.
Wow, what an introduction.
He's really young. He's really young though, so he was like a child when that.
I feel like I have to apologize Foursquare on that one.
I feel like that would prevent him from enjoying it going forward, right? Like,
wow.
It's like, are all of them like a fever dream?
Metal Beer Solid says Mario movie with only Nolan North and Troy Baker. Scott says, if you play them, what is everyone's favorite Souls like? Mine's Bloodborne. Cheers, fellas. I feel like everyone's going to say Bloodborne.
I'm going to go Elden Ring.
I'll say Elden Ring's pretty good too.
Yeah, Elden Ring. I have so many hundreds of hours in it.
Sekiro was fun though.
Demon Souls, the original Demon Souls. I'm old. Super old. Demon Souls.
Trip and Fall says RGT needs to take the L on Metroid Dread or storm a building. I was gonna say that. we whatever that one.
Which building, Jonathan?
Thank you. Yo peeps, out of the 12 live service Sony has planned, how many you think will flop? I'll go 50%.
50-50, baby. Let's go.
I think that's a conservative estimate. I think so. They have to be. I'm sure they have internal numbers like thinking half of them or so are going to fail. I mean, they're going to try to make all of them work, but in their mind, they're like, well, if we get a return from 5 of them, we'll be okay. Georgie says, you guys don't think Sony is padding their lineup with these remasters? Death Stranding, Uncharted 4. Sony didn't have their show to reveal 2023 lineup. We're still kind of waiting to hear about stuff in 2023 for Sony, aren't we? Mm-hmm. Should probably do that soon. That'd be a good idea. Dex says thoughts on PlayStation Stars and its potential. PlayStation Stars is weird. I
don't understand it.
What is PlayStation Stars?
It's a reward. It's a reward program.
It's on your phone. It lives on your phone. And
go ahead.
I signed up for it. OJ's about to say if you buy stuff, you get coins or
you get points.
Whatever.
It's like Microsoft Rewards, but it doesn't have a native app
a discount to the next game you purchase.
You also get digital collectibles. So I have a telescope and a T-Rex.
Awesome. That's great. What can you do with those?
I can show them.
They look terrible, yeah.
They look terrible. Like, it looks like the worst NFT thing you've ever seen, basically. It's not. They say it's not, but it looks...
PS2 save file
Are these
thing?
NFTs?
It looks worse than that. Actually would have been cool, Evan. That's what they should do.
The PS2 save files would have been cool.
Give you a shelf, and it looks like a terrible Photoshop job of this T-Rex thing and this telescope pasted on top of this bookshelf that I have.
Can you like add it to your profile?
No.
Are they NFTs?
No. They give them to you, and they said specifically not NFTs. They give them to you, and that's kind of it. And apparently they'll eventually get to your PlayStation, but right now it's still just on the phone. So I have to look you up, I believe, on my phone to see this stuff. Yes, but they have campaigns. They're like, play this game, and you get this collectible.
No, yeah, Steam's been doing this for years, so Sony will catch up eventually.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft has the reward system where you get an achievement, you get 50 reward points. If you
have a display case there, looks like it's out of Photoshop 95.
No, they just give you a check mark when you fulfill your thing, and then they give you they just give you your tally, and then you for 8,700 points you get $10 to basically anything you want. You can get it from Amazon, McDonald's, Grubhub. Sean could be eating for free.
Ooh.
I have a picture of it. I can put it in the Discord in a minute of what my display case looks like. This is from Truly Epic saying, would the reaction be better or worse if Mario was voiced by James Corden?
That's
worse.
James Ramsey for some reason.
The British dude?
Yeah.
No fucking Brits. All right.
Worse.
You know my policy.
Bob Hoskins was British, Sean.
He's right there.
No Brits and no horses, and we're good.
But Bob Hoskins was British.
Yeah, was he though?
What about some British horses?
Was he though?
He was from.
This is from Pyro saying, deep in the console generation, will we see AAA titles reach 8K 30 and will native 4K 60 become more commonplace? I see dynamic resolution persisting in this console generation. Probably racing games, maybe a racing game, 8K 30, but Unless we get pro systems or something, probably not. We'll stick to 4K 60. The importer says, I want the Gravity Rush games on PC, 4K 60 FPS.
True.
That actually might be something Sony tries with that show. That seems basic enough to just move it over to PC. Daryl says it's too early to make fun of Dreamcast guy for selling us on Saints Row. I joke.
Oh yeah, I know I'm the one person who didn't totally hate that game. Mock me all you want. I promise I'm not offended. I had a surprising amount of fun playing that, but I know I'm the only one.
P. Dudley, no message here. Oh, then P. Dudley says Bloodborne deserves a remaster remake. Agreed.
True.
Yeah.
Ghost says, besides Pokemon, what good turn-based game are there on Game Boy/Game Boy Color?
Dragon Warrior.
No, yeah, all the
Yeah.
Dragon Warrior. So I've been playing a bunch. Got my analog pocket right here. There is a surprising amount. It is weird playing through a bunch of Game Boy games how big of a step above Pokemon is, but yeah. Here, let me open up.
Legend of the River King is good. I like those games.
Okay.
That's good. Survival Kids, the Dragon Warrior,
That's right,
Final Fantasy Adventure, and then the Final Fantasy Adventure games, Link's
There's a
Awakening.
Crystallis on Game Boy Color too.
True. There's a bunch actually. Shin Megami Tensei has a good fan translation. Star Ocean has a good fan translation. Yeah, I mean there's stuff for sure.
Strawman says Metroid Dread released 1 year ago today. How are the bet results? We'll find out eventually.
Well, yeah.
3 weeks. No, we'll find out one way or the other, I guess. Then Dougal says, was Dreamcast guy on crack when rating Saints Row and Cyberpunk 2077?
Well,
They're after you on Saints Row.
I don't know. Sometimes months later, someone's like, "Wait a minute, this guy gave it an 8. Everybody else gave it a 4." You know, it's
doesn't
like,
that mean they watched your video recently, so it's getting the backlog views?
Right? Yeah. I have no idea. Or maybe somebody made a hate video. Occasionally, someone will make a hate video and they'll dig through like 400 videos and go, "Here's a score I don't like from 6 years ago," and it's like, well, touch grass. I also think it's funny that the fucking Cyberpunk thing of that I enjoyed my first playthrough of Cyberpunk, so I gave it a good score, and then it turned out to be a glitchy game, and I was like, let me backpedal a little bit, and now everyone loves Cyberpunk, and they're mad at me again of like, well, you liked it when it was bad, and I like it now, so it means I'm right, and you're still wrong. It's like, okay.
Jack says PlayStation, Xbox, PC, mobile, Chromecast, and Apple TV will all be able to run the Super Mario movie, but not the Switch.
Not wrong.
That's interesting. Could they... I wonder if they get
to release that shit on a cartridge with like a.
Can they have a movie section on the Switch where you buy it and watch it on your Switch?
Probably.
It depends. I think they might do something.
Watch. It'll be the only place. It'll be a deal where it's the only place it's allowed to be streamed is through a Nintendo Switch, and it's only if you have the online.
Yeah, connected online.
That's one of their bonus. And plus
NSO
getting the
perk.
bonus pack. You have to get the add-on pack for
Yeah,
it.
you got to get the expansion pack and you can watch the movie.
This is from Xbox Lost PlayStation 1.
Fucking stupid.
RGT has no business judging which older wrestling game is best, and he is clearly blinded by nostalgia. Stick to your mainstream console games, Sonny.
Motherfucker, I have been playing wrestling games since you were swimming around your dad's ball sack, bro. Like, trust me, I love Here Comes the Pain. I think No Mercy is a more complete wrestling game as far as a simulation style is concerned.
This is from John O again. It was for a bodybuilding competition. Okay. And the ECHT Joy-Cons made it more comfortable. I was hoping Sean had a good story. Never a dull moment. Appreciate you all. Thanks, John. NVIDIA says Danny DeVito would make a better Mario, just saying.
True.
Would be pretty solid.
What about Al Pacino?
He's too old, man.
It's just the voice.
His voice.
You can hear old man voice.
He's got
Yeah,
that
there's
old man
a
raspy
violence in his
now.
voice that I don't know if Mario would be cool with.
You're like, it's me, Don Pacino.
If you're
Oh
talking
God, not the
Dog Day
Don
Afternoon,
Pacino.
if you're talking Dog Day Afternoon, Pacino, absolutely. But we're way past
I love that movie.
What? Dog
Dog Day
Day.
Afternoon.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I mean, look at the cast of The Sopranos. You could have got any one of them. You could have got John Turturro.
Yeah.
If Gandolfini was still around.
Oh yeah.
Gandolfini was Mario.
Well,
That'd be so good.
Gandolfini's son is pretty much a clone of his. Let's get him to play Mario.
He has the looks, but I don't think he sounds just like him.
Well, he's also still pretty young. I think he'll be there.
We're moving to our last topic here. It's Need for Speed Unbound. It's coming out.
Forgot about it.
December 2nd. It is out in less than 2 months. So they reveal real quick run up to this one. We had heard about it. It's been rumored. It's been leaked. It's been all over. I was getting a little concerned they weren't even going to show it, or something got delayed internally because it was getting kind of late into the year. They were just going to get it out there. And by the way, December is kind of filling up.
Good
with games.
Filling up with ad revenue.
I don't typically remember this many games show up in December, because it seems like in the first half we're getting quite a few of them with the Callisto Protocol, Need for Speed, Final Fantasy, just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Anyway, Need for Speed Unbound.
Let's
PS5,
fucking go.
Xbox Series, and PC. So they are not making a PS4 and an Xbox One version. They are just going current gen, which is great because that will allow them to get 4K 60 out of it. Whereas I kind of think if they went and had to work on the PS4 and the Xbox One, might have, I don't know, messed with the development. Need for Speed Heat is still 30 FPS to this day. Blows my mind. They never went back to the patch or anything for it. Open world, it's called Lakeshore. They say it's return to street racing roots. I'm hoping that's like Underground or Carbon MVG. That's kind of what I'm hoping they're. It has kind of that style though, doesn't it? Like the old Need for Speed Underground style from what they're
Looks
showing
like
off.
Looks good. Looks good. I'm into it. I'm gonna get it. I love those games.
I'm picking it up. I'm excited for Need for Speed. I liked Heat. Heat was good. So I'm looking forward to this one. By the way, Heat was $3.
He was great. Yeah, Heat's cheap and it's really good.
The price that I'm gonna pay for this new one, then
the new one. There's one thing I really like.
I ain't buying no damn Need for Speed for 7. Is it 70?
Yeah. It is 70.
It should
However,
be out of your damn mind.
Here's the problem with the game.
Need for Speed for those games that get discounted by damn near instantly. Y'all out here gonna buy it for 70.
I'm gonna buy it and make a video on it,
right,
and then I'll recoup my money.
Yeah, that's my thing is I'm gonna buy it for content, and I am excited for it though, and I haven't been excited for a Need for Speed in a long time.
My problem is
will be discounted by the time that you get home and put it in here, and it'll be discounted by the time that you get home and even start playing it. Y'all gotta be crazy to sit there and spend 70 on Need for Speed.
Here's the problem.
That game's gonna be discounted quickly.
It's the cover art. The cover art is a problem. They used a motherfucking 190E Evo 2 on the cover art.
How could they
did not
do
know
this?
RGT has been in the market for a 190E for a little while now. He wants one as kind of a fun car just to have and maybe track it and stuff like that. And there was a 190E in the northern part of Virginia that was a good ass price that I should have picked up, and I slept on it, and then it sold. And now 190Es all of a sudden, because you got ASAP Rocky in the game and he's driving the 190E.
$200,000 for one of those cars, Sean.
No, not the Evo. I wasn't looking at the Evo. I was looking at the Cosworth. You can get those cheaper.
This box art looks like it was made in Power Director or something.
It's the 190E though. The motherfuckers are ruining the market.
This box art and the fonts that they use for this time. I ain't trying to judge the game by that, but come on, God.
Literally choosing a box by the game by the cover.
The game's gonna be good. No, the game's gonna be good. But I gotta say something about this, because y'all out here trying to spend $70 on a Need for Speed game when these games have historically dropped very quickly after launch, like damn near almost instant. So I'm just saying,
then I'll make a video. I'll make a video reviewing it, and it'll cut the price in half, and I'll make a video looking shocked, and I'll go, "They stole $40. EA stole $40 from me."
Hey,
what are y'all getting it on? PlayStation or Xbox?
I'm going PS5.
I'll go PS5 because I got the wheel for the PS5.
Well, what's going to happen is on the Xbox, if you have Game Pass Ultimate, they'll drop it into the EA with their EA
Trial
Play thing, and you get it for 10 hours basically to play it if you want.
I don't have Xbox wheel though, bro.
Oh, well, I was looking at wheels because Forza's coming up.
Low Tech, you did not fucking buy that car. How much was it? If you bought it, what was the list price of it, and what year was it?
You're not mad, Sean.
What's your
Definitely
social
not mad.
security number?
Yeah, we do need
Dox
to,
yourself.
we do need to figure out what system though, because it's gonna be. Well, no, it's crossplay. So it's full offline single player, and there will also be crossplay.
Well, I'm
probably gonna get PS5.
I'll get
PS5,
because
okay.
I just want it. I want it with the wheel.
Yeah.
Okay. And new physics system. Of course, the visual style is interesting. It's kind of realistic, but then it has these shades of. It's been described. I think Jeff Grubb said at one point, anime, cartoony
the graffiti
visuals.
approach that kind of leans into the Spider-Verse feel of animation.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll be honest. When I
like the
first
visuals.
there were leaked pictures of it going around a couple of months ago, and I thought it looked like shit. But now seeing it in motion and stuff in 4K, it actually looks really cool.
Oh, it looks good though. I really like Need for Speed Underground and Underground.
Yep, my
2.
favorite.
And it's giving me Underground 2 is my favorite Need for Speed
Same,
game, and it's totally giving me Underground vibes. But I mean, I bought Underground when it was like $15. You know, I'm just saying. But yeah, this is what I'm definitely going to be getting it at some point because it does give me those Underground vibes. So yeah, I'm gonna pick it up.
We'll see how it is when it drops in December 2nd. So not too much longer. And like I said, if you have technically, if you're in chat, you have Game Pass Ultimate, you'll get 10 hours, I believe, because they
got the EA plug on here. Anyone got the EA plug for a review copy? Shit.
I don't. I used to. I bet I figured out. I think,
up with that.
I think they have.
Now OJ's interested. Hey,
now I'm
Right.
interested. I don't like giving EA my money. I don't like EA. Y'all, I even was apprehensive about giving them my money with Mass Effect. I was angry. Here, take it.
I got one of those weird.
Walk out.
You know, Ubisoft does that weird like automated standalone press site. EA does that, I think.
Oh yeah, so Callisto Protocol will be 70 on that day too.
Mm-hmm. And we know that's going Game of the Year.
That's day one. Day one.
Oh yeah,
70 Need for Speed. Need for Speed will be a longer game though. There'll be more content in Need for Speed.
yeah. Well, they said 15 hours of Callisto, and there's branching
That's
paths.
perfect.
You know, it's probably less than that then.
But Callisto's got like multiple mechanics.
I bet Callisto's 10 hours.
Callisto's
Maybe
different. I mean,
8.
Need for Speed's a racing game, so it's like
Yeah, I think they said 12 to 14, and then it could go longer due to the branching paths. They want everyone to play the game because the odds of all of us playing the game exactly the same way will be low.
Okay.
So it's going to encourage like replays so you can see different stuff and all of that.
I'll be playing it.
But that's the start of a fantastic trilogy of games. You have Callisto Protocol in December, Dead Space in January, Resident Evil 4 in March.
Yep.
That's going to be a fantastic horror.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good.
Man, I'm so excited.
And Need for Speed's there too. Look at that. There we go.
Sure.
I just want to give a little bit of love for Dragon Quest Treasures coming out in December as well. I think that game's going to be fun.
Oh, I'll be playing that.
Yeah.
Really?
I get to.
RPG 85 here, sir.
RPG.
Dragon Quest will get you some
You finished
views.
Field yet?
I like Dragon Quest games.
Dude, I'm playing Dragon Quest 7 right now for the first time on my 3DS. Holy shit, that game is fucking hilarious.
By the way, I think I'm gonna end up with that platinum in Diofield Max without even trying because it's
Oh, I know.
just beat the game and get the level 50 and it's like, here's your platinum trophy. Oh, okay, I guess. So
Yep.
25 hours though for Diofield. Not as long as I thought it was gonna be. Some people are telling me they're in 40 or 50 hours in. I'm done in like 25 or 26 hours.
I did every side quest and it did not take me 40 hours.
Yeah. Need for Speed, looking forward to it. Checking it out. I'm getting it, MVG's getting it, Sean's getting it. Max getting it. Jordan will probably get it.
I'll probably get it.
Oh, there we go. See, all right.
And I'll pay $70, and then OJ will just be like, "Oh, look at you, spent
OJ will
$70."
join up with the crew in February or March.
Yeah. It's
I'll
just
show
funny
later,
because it's usually Need for
car.
Speed. I always remember when Need for Speed
misaligned.
when Need for
Got
Speed
4
always used to
different
come
rims on
out.
each
Would you
side.
shut your mouth? Every time a Need for Speed game came out, it would come out like a few weeks before Black Friday, and then you just wait 2 weeks and it's $30.
Yep.
That's what I always used to do.
This time
Why
they're
stop
waiting
that?
after Black Friday. They got the strategy
They
down.
got me.
Yeah, they're waiting for Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Y'all think I'm giving $70
Made
to
up
EA? Y'all crazy if you think I'm giving $70 to EA day one. That's gotta be out of your mind. There's no way in hell.
You
If I
say
find
that
that EA plug, I'll hook
when
you
Mass
up.
Effect
OJ.
4 drops, you'll be there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'll be like,
there.
hold on, OJ. Mass Effect drops in price
be
pretty
a-
quick.
I'll be a goddamn hypocrite with Mass Effect 4
This is
because I'll be there before any of you guys
Yeah.
will be there. That's like my favorite RPG series.
Dude,
Like,
I'll
that's
pay
an
more
RPG
than 74. If they said
You
this
get-
is $80, all right. Well,
If
it's
it was
$80.
as good as
sure.
Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, I'd pay $100 for. If it's as good as those games, but like expanded and I'd pay.
I'd give them the keys to my car.
the keys
Jordan,
to
you're
your
gonna
car.
Jordan, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get the collector's edition though, Jordan. So you're already gonna pay more than 70. I think. Yeah,
What,
the
Need for Speed?
helmet. No. For
Oh.
Mass Effect. Mass Effect.
Oh, for Mass
No,
Effect,
yeah,
yeah, I would
yeah.
do that. I mean, I pre-ordered the the Dead Space Collector's Edition.
You got the Jump Force Collector's Edition back there. I
Not
believe you'll
back
buy
here.
anything.
I got that over there.
Yeah.
Wait, you pre-ordered the what is it like $250 Dead Space?
Hell yeah, dude! I've been waiting for them
With
to
the
make
big
a Dead
glowing
Space
helmet.
helmet.
As the helmet.
Because I have the Dead Space 2 little rinky dink gun from the collector's edition, so I want the big helmet with the tiny little gun for a Halloween costume. Would be fun.
Let's finish up here with the few of the super chats. Sean, you got the after show going tonight.
Yeah, we'll run it for a little bit.
There will be an after show over on Sean's RGT Live channel.
Still got a fair bit of Discord queues as
Okay,
well.
we'll go through those as well as we finish up with some outros. Let me let's see. We have Rovita saying, "Give me a new Ape Escape game and a anime movie." Who agrees? Sure, why not? Try all of them. You never know. One of them might catch on. Future says, "Are we ever getting Golden Sun on Switch?"
No.
We've seen a series, TV, movie, whatever. Let's get it going. Shinru says, "Evening, everyone. Thank you all for the amazing work. Which platform feels worth your money, factoring in all the games and services and controllers?" The Steam Deck.
They all the main platforms feel
Yeah.
worth the money. Like every single one, you can find good content, and they're all good in their own right, and have good controllers or good stuff to play or whatever the case is. So
I think
they're all worth it.
Out of the blue, if you're looking for the cheapest amount of most play, I'd get an Xbox Series S with Game Pass.
Okay. Yeah, you get Series S is like $250 with an extra controller now at Best Buy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for the price, yeah.
If you actually want to own your games, though, I would not go with that. But
Monroe says, "Lord of the Rings is proof Amazon shouldn't get into gaming." I'm really happy I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan. It seems hard. It seems hard out there with that. Hi said
gaming.
High IQ says, "Zelda movie live action or animated?" Oh gosh,
Live action.
animated.
Why not both?
Animated. My gosh, no, live action.
Live action.
Live action. Oh man.
Live animated.
Let's see how
Half
far
and
we can
half.
get it. Let's go live action.
Oh, all right,
I
Evan.
watched that like
Live in front of a
Lion
studio
King
audience.
look.
Ooh,
Gosh. All right,
like Fresh
Evan.
Prince.
30 minutes.
Hit us with the Discord questions. Go ahead.
With all these games moving to the big screen, will we ever see the return of film television being adapted into video games like the PS2 days? I hope not, personally.
No.
So. All right. Has anyone picked up Tunic on Switch?
No.
I haven't. I've looked at it a couple times. I played it on the Xbox. I don't know. I'm curious about the performance. This is the only reason I want to get on the Switch.
Waiting
So I'm
for
not
that.
going to play through it again. Yeah, physical. I would get it physically if like Limited Run or somebody does it.
I beat it on Xbox, and now I'm playing through it again on PS5.
For YouTube videos, do you back up your footage and videos on external drives?
Hell
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Yeah, I've started to do that for sure.
Bro, I don't
NAS
back up shit.
Have a NAS drive with everything.
I
on
have to build a NAS. I need to do that. That's the plan.
That would be good.
I went and played Outriders in California, and they gave me all the 4K footage on this portable 1 terabyte, and now I've been using it to back up footage.
There you go. That'll work.
Do you think the PS4 support will finally end more due to technical limitations or the increase in PS5 install base?
Both.
I think both. Yeah, both definitely.
All right. MDG, I heard you mention Turok when talking about games you helped develop. So I just bought Turok 1 and 2 on Steam. Is there a list of games you helped produce so I can support your work?
Quake Remastered, Shadow Man, Power Slave, Shantae, River City Girl Zero, Strife, and Blade Runner Enhanced Edition.
All right. Question for Nate the lawyer. What will happen if we don't have the stats by today, but found out it went over 3 million before today at a later date?
So I guess that's one. That's basically asking that if in November Nintendo puts out an updated sales figure that as of the end of September they put Dread at 3 million. In that case, then Sean would lose the bet because the sales number of 3 million was eclipsed prior to October 8th,
Right.
with the date specifying the end of September. Now, if we are waiting until the CESA papers come out, which would be about mid-2023, which would bring us to the end of 2022, and that makes mention that Dread is over 3 million, that would have to be disregarded, and we wouldn't be able to declare any winner because we wouldn't be able to determine when in 2022 the figure was indeed crossed. So that would just be a draw.
Okay. I think that's fair. All right.
When I play games on a subscription, I feel less of a sense of commitment to them than a game I bought. Why is this? I actually get the reverse because then I feel like I'm getting more out of the game if I'm paying anything for a subscription.
Because you don't own it versus you own it.
Okay.
Well, it's also sort of that sunk cost fallacy. If you spend $70, you think, well, I gotta get $70 out of this.
I can say with the subscription though is when you get a game, right? You download it all of it. In the back of your mind, you always know there's another game on that subscription service you can go get if you don't like this one. So you don't. I think there's that thought of I don't have to.
It's like when you hack your PSP Go and you put 10,000 ROMs on there. You only play 2 of them because they're your favorites.
You get oversaturated.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Decision paralysis. There's a technical term for it. I've got like 80 games on my 3DS, and I'm like, well, I'll play.
It's like when you buy a Steam Deck and you purchase Knights.
Who's that? Who did that? Who's
I owned Knights before the Steam Deck purchase. I bought Knights when I first got Steam. When I downloaded Steam to play Knights.
How many games on your Steam Deck were games you had already owned on?
You said it was like 4, right? You had 4 games on Steam when you bought the Steam Deck.
How many do you have now?
Here, God.
All right, while he's checking, the last question is kind of just a weird out there one from this guy. If you were to lose both your legs in a terrible accident and you got prosthetics, would you buy the same size shoe?
No, I would get smaller feet because I have fucking big feet to begin with.
I'd go for those blade legs that you can like run twice as fast on, scare the shit out of people.
Okay.
I'd get huge shoes because I have tiny hands and I want to look like I have some sort of weird shrinking as I go up problem.
Look like
like a clown chasing people through the streets.
Size 15 shoes and then tiny hands. We're like, what the fuck happened?
You look like the Saints Row creative character.
Yes, or the Street Fighter 6 creative characters are just like, why are you shaped like that?
You can get one of those cosplay stilt setup so you're like 30 feet tall and just like walking around inside buildings freaking people
Damn,
out.
Sean, how many games you got? You still?
No, I think the easier question is how many games do I own on here that I don't own on another platform?
Okay.
And that would be 2.
How many games have you bought since you got the Steam Deck?
Really not that many.
Give us a number.
There's only like,
tell us the total.
well, no, because some of this stuff is like review codes that I've gotten of stuff before.
It's still stuff you
I've
have.
gotten
It's like 4.
You said 4 originally.
I have 28 Steam games total.
Okay, so you bought 24.
So you bought 24 in the span of 3 days, 4 days, something like that.
It's gonna get worse, Sean.
Well,
like,
it's working for Valve.
I already
go
own.
to Humble Bundle, check it out.
Yeah, Humble Bundle.
And most of these games, I mean, they weren't expensive. I probably only spent
No, that's how they get
$100
you.
maybe.
Yeah,
and
I know.
Spider-Man ate up a big chunk of that.
They're doing a Sega sale, I think, right now. You should probably check that out.
Oh yeah, I've already bought Condemned.
Nice.
And Bayonetta and Vanquish.
No.
Did you buy Binary Domain?
Binary Domain is actually
Non-binary
good.
domain? No, I did not.
Binary Domain is awesome.
Yeah, that's actually a really good one.
Like, if you haven't played it on any other platform, came out on the 360 PS3. If you haven't played it,
It's Spec Ops is on there, isn't it?
Wait. Have you played Max Payne 3, Sean?
No.
Get that on Steam.
Oh,
really
you haven't played Max Payne 3 before? Oh man. All right, we'll talk about it later. Ben says there was talk about people making crazy stuff in Game Builder Garage. Anyone going back recently see any new stuff, or is it dead? I haven't checked out Game Builder Garage in a while.
It's probably dead. I would assume.
It's dead.
$20. Come on.
I want a Mario Maker randomly. That shit's super dead.
Let's go around here. Sean, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on RGT85. Tomorrow I'll share a video with my thoughts on the Steam Deck. Let me drop the channel that we'll be live on in just a minute after the show. Make sure you subscribe. Dude, I got raided by someone on that channel, and it wasn't even like a video game person. It was a football person, and I was just doing my Thursday stream, and all these people were like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? I guess he just liked video game stuff. Like 600 people just showed up at once. They're like, Raiders! I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Oh damn! Send those people back. Raiders fans, just send them back
no,
before
they were all Green. The guy's channel was a Green Bay Packers fan, but you know how they say, "Oh, we're raiding," and I'm like,
I thought you said they were Raider fans. I was going to say, bro, they're gonna hack your they're gonna hack your account, steal your money out of your they're gonna jack your car, all sorts of stuff, man. Don't mess with these Raider fans, dude.
Let's go over here.
I was glad when they left California, by the way. Good. Don't come back too. Go stay with MVG.
My uncle is a Raiders fan. Stop it. He has tons of Raiders merchandise.
Where can everyone find you?
Was that me?
OJ, where can I find you? OJ,
you find me not with the Raiders. You can find me not with the Raiders. Okay, no, I'm joking. Yeah, right here, Player Essence YouTube. I got a cool video coming out tomorrow. Talk about some RPG stuff and all that. Did some pretty cool videos. So if you're into Nintendo RPGs, anime stuff, did an anime reaction, and it was actually interesting how much people actually liked it. So yeah, I do anime, do RPGs, do Nintendo stuff. So check out the channel, Player Essence, if you are into that.
MVG, where can everyone find you?
You can find me with the Raiders and on Twitter at Modern Vintage G and YouTube Modern Vintage Gamer. And thanks for having me on.
What about Max, Dreamcast guy?
YouTube.com/Dreamcast guy. I got a big review coming up for Scorn. And I got some other videos. I think I'm going to be also trying to review, what is it? Oh God, I'm spacing on the name. What's the game with all the rats?
Plague Tale, Requiem.
Plague Tale, Requiem. I'm trying to beat that and review that too. So
bunch of videos coming up.
Yes.
Yes, nice.
Yeah, and this one apparently is going to do better with the whole rat system and stuff. So I'm excited.
It's like 30,000.
Yeah, it was Tom Grossi. That's who it was. I don't even know.
Okay, Jordan, where can we find you?
You can find me on either my main channel, Jordan Fringe, where I talk about cartoons and TV shows. Put out my biggest video I've done yet on there today. It's an hour and a half long. Also, the gaming channel officially has content. I put my first video out on there. Video is doing really well. I appreciate it. So check that out if you are interested. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, and then let's go over to Evan. Where can we find you?
Find me on Twitter at Kimrix Project. If I'm doing anything going live on Twitch or whatever, I'll usually just post there. Any info for anything coming up.
And then we got Nate.
You can find me on YouTube at Nate the Hate. MVG and I have a podcast up right now dissecting the PlayStation 5 jailbreak or hack, however you want to refer to it. And we also explain why Sony approved this particular hack. And you can find all the details and the history about the jailbreak in the podcast. We also give our reactions to the Mario movie Direct.
Did anyone do a reference to Thin Lizzy in the reaction?
I don't know what that means.
Tonight there's gonna be a jailbreak.
All right, we'll see everyone next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
What about AC/DC?
Jailbreak.
Jailbreak.